atlanta.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company. The painters you can trust.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on XTRA 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
How you doing? 318. It's only the Kimmer. Pete and Flounder. We got a little techno thing. No Pete yet. Maybe Al. Leonard Skinner. I'll play a little Leonard here, Flounder. Why not?
This is called Give Me Back My Bullets.
I was going to say, not exactly Sweet Home Alabama, but I wonder. Or Freebird. I mean, my God, man. No, this is fine. There was some sad news on this day and last year. Last year on this day, Gary Rossington died at his home in Milton, Georgia. Right up the road, 71 years old, the founder of the southern rock band Leonard Skinner had the 74 hit Sweet Home Alabama. That only made it to number 8. Is that unbelievable? That's kind of hard to believe. Everybody knows Sweet Home Alabama. That's a monster hit song, iconic song, don't you think? It was only number 8 in America. Number 5 album, Street Survivors, 82. A British hit Freebird. Freebird was only 21 in Britain. Anyway, he was the longest surviving founding member of Leonard Skinner, also a founding member of the Rossington Collins Band, with former bandmate Alan Collins. Gary Rossington died on this day a year ago. Milton, Georgia guy. And again, way no offense, my former producer and I had a slip, a boat slip at Lake Allatoona, or was it Lanier? No, Lake Allatoona together. And our next door neighbor moved in at the dock, and it was one of the former drummers for Leonard Skinner. Little guy, really nice guy, real kind of hippie and easygoing. And the problem is he had a problem with dumping his garbage over the side, and but he was a really nice guy. Really,
that would kind of be a problem with the HOA.
Yeah, they don't really know. We said no. You really, it's just floating by the boat. I mean, it's just, come on, it's not really what they want you to do. Anyway, nice guy though, and it was fun talking to him once in a while. A birthday list includes Eva Mendes. She's a serious hottie, 50 years old today. Eva Mendes, the actress, was in Hitch, Training Day, Ghost Rider, The Other Guys, and just on the other night, I saw parts of it again with Denzel Washington, Out of Time, which is an interesting movie. Ryan Gosling and she are married. They have 2 kids, and she makes sure that the kids watch only what she thinks they should watch, which is kind of nice. Yeah, Eva Mendes is 50. And our history list includes 9 years ago this day, 2015. Harrison Ford was flying his small plane over a California golf course. Engine failure, bing bang, crash landed on the golf course. The NTSB ruled it was not his fault. But he damn near killed himself in a plane crash. All right, how you doing? 3:20. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Pete's not available yet today. We'll see what happens with the Flounder. 404-741-1230. Okay, dog. We'll do a couple of newsy things here until I feel like doing something else. I definitely want to talk about my little granddaughter and this issue of calling girls cute. And
an issue with calling girls cute?
They're, well, in fact, let's
do it now.
Let's do it now. What the hell? I got it right here. Hold on. Don't call. Here we go. Okay, here's what this said. This is a study, some woke researchers. Let's see. I don't know their exact researchers tested. I'm sure the exact company name here. It's in here somewhere, this story. The researchers surveyed 25,000 children between the ages of 5 and 12 and 36,000 parents all over the world, okay? 36,000 parents, 25,000 kids to find out how they felt about being called certain things and using certain words and stuff like that. Here's what the study says. Results revealed the society is around 7% more likely to use terms like sweet, pretty, and beautiful and cute for girls more than boys. 7% more likely to use those terms for girls more than boys. Duh, so? What? That's nothing. Anyway, I'll go on. And then it says, in contrast, terms like brave, genius, innovative, and cool are twice as likely to be used just for the boys. And then they say they asked the kids about what they thought about being called various things. 2/3 of the girls between 5 and 12 said the language they heard made them feel worried about making mistakes and less likely to experiment. More than half the kids involved said the adults more likely to listen to the creative idea of boys rather than girls. Suggested girls might be particularly prone to the pressures of perfectionism as they get older. You know, give me a freaking break. For one thing, this was 25,000 kids all over the world. So when they go to Saudi Arabia and India and, Kazakhstan to ask about little girls and how they feel about calling pretty, might have a different result in the survey than, little girl in, Hollywood. I mean, my God. So, but still, they're warning, they're saying girls are feeling less inspired to be creative if they're praised with words like sweet and beautiful rather than cool or brave. Okay, I'm sure there's some truth to that, if that's all you do. Let me stop here. When I was home for Christmas, my granddaughter Molly, if you see my Facebook page and stuff, she's beautiful. I mean, she's stunningly beautiful. She has the Peterson blue eyes, and she has blonde hair that goes a little darker and goes back. I mean, she's just gorgeous. She's really pretty. You've seen her on my Facebook page stuff. She's also fearless. She's a daredevil. She's an acrobat. She'll do anything. Skiing. I mean, anything. It's a rollerblading on hill, a mountain. I mean, it's the damnedest thing you ever saw. And she's in a gifted school along with her brother, both in actual gifted school in Colorado. So she's freaking perfect. Okay. At Christmas time, was it Christmas? Yeah, at Christmas time, I was kind of making a joke about her because I've told her before how beautiful she is and so forth, and kind of making a joke. And I originally teased her about how you guys were teasing me because I thought it was so sweet to have a love affair between two grown-ups, and they're making fun of me because they're still nice to be in love, stuff like that. And we were kind of talking about lovey-dovey things because she's a huge Taylor Swift fan. I bought her 2 different Taylor Swift outfits for Christmas. So she, as I was talking about Taylor Swift and how I love Taylor Swift, her romance with the guy, and we talked about, love and things like that. And I'm a Swiftie along with because of their love affair. Okay, now after that, later on, before I left, she and I were just sitting in the living room together, and her mother was in the kitchen, which I didn't really realize. So I told her Molly, and I said, Molly, let me tell you something. Let me just say something. I said, I tell you all the time, and I put you on Facebook, and everybody talks about how beautiful you are, and you really are a beautiful child. And everybody knows that. It's not a secret. You're a beautiful child. But just to think about this. You didn't do anything to deserve your beauty. You didn't earn it. You didn't buy it. You didn't, make something to come. It was a gift. It was it was the gift of genetics. You can thank your mother and father and ancestors and everything else. You didn't do anything to deserve your beauty. So, but the point is, you do deserve who you are. You're a fabulous little girl. You're happy. You're funny. You're bright. You're quick-witted. You're so creative. My God, she is an artist. She has a whole art room in their house. She is creative. I was telling her, creative and clever and curious and smart and engaging, and you care about other people and their feelings. And I was listening to all these things. I said, those are the things. If you can put aside the fact that you're beautiful and not think of yourself as anything special because of your beauty, because you didn't earn it. You did nothing for it. It doesn't belong to you. It was given to you. But you do deserve all those things that make you special. And as long as you realize that your beauty is really nothing to do with you, but what is to do with you with all those things that make you special, if you treat your friends that way and realize that that's what makes you special, you'll have friends the rest of your life. And you'll never be alone. And I don't know whether she understood that, it was kind of a synopsis version of it. But the point I was trying to make was that, beauty has nothing to do with her. What makes her special is all those things that she does deserve and she did earn. And I think she got it because she's so freaking smart. We'll be sitting around doing it with a family or something. We're talking about, somebody posting something on Facebook. She's all whatever. And Molly, she's 9. And she'll see something like, well, I really can't believe that person went through all that trouble to make some kind of an outrageous claim that nobody really is going to believe in the first place anyway. And I'm going, holy God, what the hell? She's freaking 9.
Now, does she have a phone?
She has.
I guess, what are the rules for?
She has an email, but it's very strictly regulated. And I'm trying to remember if she has I don't think she has a phone yet. She's not. Brady just got a phone. He's 12. 13, just turned 13. But he can only. It's very, very highly guarded. Believe me, Sarah and Dan are strict. With their, where they go, what they do, what they eat. They're wonderful parents, but they're also very, very close. Monitoring their kids.
Very hands-on.
Yeah. Well, they are so active. I couldn't keep up. They do something. The other day, they had a day off and they went skiing. They went to the mountains and went skiing. They don't stop. Molly has horseback riding lessons. Brady does basketball and wintertime baseball. And there's like 4. They're gone almost every day doing stuff. And it's not because they love it. They want to do it.
They enjoy doing it.
Believe me, if they had their way, Brady would do nothing but shoot baskets and play baseball all day, and he's a gifted student too. It's unbelievable. So they're just. I'm so thrilled and proud and happy that they have such a great life. But again, that thing with Molly, I felt kind of funny, and then I realized as I kind of turned around once and I saw Sarah listening from the kitchen, and she didn't say anything, and I thought to myself, oh God, I'm talking to my granddaughter. It's her daughter. I hope I'm not messing anything up. You know what I mean? My kid doesn't deserve a beauty. What are you talking? I was hoping. I never talked to her about it. It never came up, and things happened, and we kind of whatever. So I never actually discussed with Sarah what she might have thought about what I said, but I'll bet you Molly got it. I'll bet she understood. The point was that all the things that make you special are going to make sure that you'll always have friends. You'll always have friends. If you remember that, and not that your beauty's got nothing to do with it. That's, you're not special because of your beauty. You're special because of who you are. I don't know. Anyway, and this study, and again, they're right. If all you do is, cuckoo poo-poo for a girl, I can understand that. But I think the point is, I say it all the time. There are girls at this table that say, hey, sweetie, how you doing? That doesn't mean, if they're not going to be adult successful when they grow up to be, 30 years old. My God. I do it all the time. I think, there's a difference. But anyway, I got kind of distracted here, but I thought that was kind of amusing. Researchers prone to the pressures of perfectionism. Well, who isn't? My God, it's the cell phones responsible for everything that's wrong and your kids raising today because they're raising on their own cell phone. That's a problem. Parents need to be more involved anyway. All right. Coming up on 3:30. How are we doing so far? Only 5 more half hours with the Kimmer and maybe Pete and Flounder on 3:30 106.3. Look out.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
This is just an easy 3-step process with the Democrat Party, okay? They need new voters. So admit these people, first step. Then legitimize these people, second step. Third step, change the laws on who can and cannot vote. Get these people registered to vote as soon as you can.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Pack your bags and join the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets football team in Dublin, Ireland as Toby's Leather to kick off the 2024 football season in Dublin. The Aer Lingus College Football Classic will feature your Yellow Jackets versus the Florida State Seminoles in a special Week 0 matchup on August 24th, 2024. Don't miss this unique opportunity to visit one of the world's most popular travel destinations while cheering on the Jackets on a global stage. For travel packages, tickets, and more information, go to gt2ireland.com. Sting 'em.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Plus, you know what's going to be here before you know it? The heat. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. That's centralheat.com.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
I was griping on the air Sunday about why the Supreme Court was taking so long to decide Colorado's attempt to kick Donald Trump off the ballot. Yesterday, boom, after a huge media buildup, the justices 9-0 said that Colorado does not have that power, and neither does any other state, including Maine and Illinois, which jumped on the bandwagon. Now, they said nothing in the Constitution requires that we endure such chaos. But what's interesting is at the time, especially MSNBC brought in all these anchors and legal analysts who said that, sure, under the 14th Amendment, Trump was an insurrectionist, should not be allowed to be on the ballot, no one should be able to vote for him. But now they are criticizing a ruling that Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson agreed with the conservative majority. Think about that. With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
There we go. I mean, every kid who got a guitar, the first riff he played was this one, at least back in my day, that's for sure. The Stones, big day in 2007. Oh, where they aren't singing. Damn it. Why do they do that? They send out an I guess
it's my fault because a lot of the times for music beds I'll use the instrumental. But with the intros I
got you.
So that's a mess up on my part.
Now, who made the instrumental?
I just went on YouTube and found it. You can go search on YouTube and find stuff like that.
So now, would the Stones have done that or just some band?
No, more than likely. Either the Stones did it and it was released, or someone edited it out and did it on their own.
I was going to say, because it's like, it's almost like it used to be, at 335, by the way, Kimmer Pete and Flounder without Pete. It used to be that when you would go to a gas station or a truck stop, and they'd have racks of
tapes,
CDs and
cassettes,
tapes. Yeah, but they were makeovers. They were maybe by the same group, but they were newly done, and they were not the same song. It was like the Stones, if they re-recorded their songs again, and you could tell it just wasn't the same original song you heard on the radio. And it was a rip-off, because they just wanted to make more money. They wanted to come out and do it all over again and start anyway. That's funny. There's no saying. Yeah, well, the Stones on this day in 2007. I'm losing it. The Stones and Paul Simon were chosen their records for preservation by the U.S. Library of Congress. The Stones. When I get to be president, I'm taking out that extra R. I mean, library? What the hell? What's a rary? Library? I mean, what's the difference in that? That's not like a Latin word. Omnia Gallia Dues and Tres Partes, Gricla. I know all that stuff. But I don't do library. Was that freaking French or something? Anyway. They were chosen for the preservation by the Library of Congress. I Can't Get No Satisfaction and Paul Simon's Graceland album entered the National Recordings Registry, preserving historic works for future generations. Other recordings chosen in 2007, including Carl Perkins' Blue Suede, Don't Step on My Blue Suede Shoes. Didn't Elvis do a cover of that? I think Elvis did that too, I'm not sure. Be My Baby by the Rhinettes. Used to love that song. Oh, God, I'm having the most horrible flashback of what a terrible boyfriend I was to a girl named Helen. Oh, my God. 1962 or 3. Here's Elvis. Or Carl Perkins.
This is Elvis.
It's Elvis. I was going to say, I thought the person I remember is Elvis, not Carl Perkins. You can see his hips moving right now. Blue Suede Shoes was in by Carl Perkins. Be My Baby Ronettes. A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. Who else did A Change? Wasn't that an old folk song by... Oh, God, I can't remember who did Change Is Gonna Come. Yeah, A Change Is Gonna Come, I thought was an old folk song by Pete Seeger or somebody. Anyway, I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm always
maybe
wrong.
Dylan.
Oh, Bob Dylan. I think he probably wrote it. I'll bet Bob Dylan wrote it, and I know he sang it too. That's what it was. Okay, so I'm really floundering here because I like to, and I don't care, and nobody's going to stop me. 3:37. And I'll give the time as often as I want to.
All right, so it does look like Sam Cooke wrote that song.
He did write it?
The Dylan song I was thinking of is Hard Rain's Gonna Fall.
Me too. That's what I was thinking of. Flounder, thank you, my friend. That's why we have if there's only some way to look this stuff up.
www.
Have the Peterson get off my Facebook page. I really freaked. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, my God, what have I done now? And I tried to redo it. In fact, I'm so proud of my freaking self because I actually have a little thing in my phone called Notes. And I opened up my Notes, and then I couldn't figure. And then it had, like, content or something, and I hit that and nothing opened. I said, oh, God, what have I done now? So I kept just, like, diddly-bipping with it and finally opened up to where it said Facebook. And I opened up the thing Facebook, and there was my passcode. So I put in the passcode and said, it's not working. It's a whole goodie. So anyway, thank God.
Well, the funny thing is when mine logged out, I didn't mess with it for an hour or so, and then I just went back to the app, and it automatically logged me back in.
Man, I was freaking out the whole time. Every 3 minutes, I'm going, you dirty red son of a bitch. Honestly, I was sending messages. That's unbelievable. Well, because I don't know anything. I mean, again, it doesn't take much to mess me up because I don't know the answers. No, it's like people who grow up with this stuff somehow know everything. They just know that there's an app for this or where to go to get the extra thing. You know what I mean? I don't know that stuff. Nobody's ever told me that stuff. So how am I supposed to figure that out? And it was like that stupid thing on Google. I used Google to do Fox News, and it did stinking ads for Xfinity and all that other crap. Some digital news service, and I couldn't get out of it.
Sometimes it's just trial by error. You just got to mess with it and figure it out.
Anyway, yeah, but it's supposed to make your life easier. I mean, it makes it worse. Anyway, all right, sorry. I think I didn't do a birthday. I'm going to do a birthday for you now. Boy, am I really blowing this whole show. 339. Eddie Hodges. Now, if you're of a certain age, you know the name Eddie Hodges. I think he won one of those Ted Mack amateur hour shows or something in the 50s. Eddie Hodges is 77 years old. He had a hit song called Gonna Knock on Your Door, ring on your bell, rap on your window too. If you don't come out tonight when the moon is bright, I'm gonna rap and rack and ring until you do. It was an enormous song. He was like 9 years old. He was on every TV show in the world. He was in movies. Eddie Hodges, 77 years old today. Good Lord, the things you remember. Anyway, 340, how you doing? Here's the number 4. By the way, I know this is kind of a, in modern day America, this is kind of a silly concept. But frequently in the old-fashioned days, in the old-fashioned radio programs, a lot of folks would be reacting to the host, especially if he said things controversial about not calling a girl cute. And you could actually call in and give your own reaction if you felt like it. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. And now to some politics. I almost hate doing this. You know, I just, we'll do more about Elon Musk thing later. We talk. But great conspiracies, though. They're saying it affected countries, by the way, Britain, Europe, China, Australia, Mexico. Internal systems gone down, and they had to use X. The people in Meta had to use X to tell people what had happened. Some folks said, yeah, it's not coincidental. It's all planned, a worldwide outage, able to get back on. They keep warning about cyber attacks and EMP attacks. This is all part of the new world order. Another said users on X and Meta's outage trying to interfere with the presidential race. Facebook and Instagram go down on Instagram. What the hell's the matter with me? I'm not having a stroke, am I? I think if I realize I'm not having a stroke, I'm probably not having a stroke. Good Lord. Social media users are linking the Meta outage to AT&T's outage February 23rd, claiming the conspiracy extends to the phone company that left millions of people unable to make calls or send texts without Wi-Fi. Facebook and Instagram go down on Super Tuesday as the real Donald Trump is destroying the polls. It's not even conspiracy anymore. They just do it right in front of our faces. Hey, who knew? Maybe. What's a possible explanation?
Well, the thing is if you look at a lot of the liberal outlets, they're even talking about how Trump's numbers are better than Biden's.
I just heard the guys before us were doing the Iowa survey now of voters. I think it was Iowa or was it Ohio? Iowa, I'm pretty sure. The latest survey. President White Trash has a 29% approval rate. 29.
When he took office, he had 52.
Yeah. And he won Iowa by, a significant number of votes.
All the swing states are in Trump's favor right now.
Yeah. And in Arizona, that Kirsten Sinema, the switch hitter, is apparently not running again. She's a senator. She was a Democrat, then went to independent. And apparently, isn't she the switch hitter? Got caught? Not caught. She was, is
similar to Manchin.
Outed herself.
Similar to Manchin. She was down the middle on a lot of stuff.
Well, no, I mean, didn't she?
Oh, on a video or something like that?
I think she's AC/DC.
That I'm not sure.
I'm almost positive. Anyway, she's not running again. She says there's too much turmoil. Well, that's the reason you ought. Well, anyway, whatever. Well, that may be good news for Kerry Lake, who lost the governor's race for. Okay. Anyway, that's the latest on that stuff. Now, Big Mike will apparently not be running. Michelle Obama has an actual statement released from her office. Here it is. As former First Lady Michelle Obama has expressed several times over the years, she will not be running for president. Mrs. Obama supports President Joe Biden and Vice President side piece, the shiftless and lazy Vice President Carmela in the re-election. Well, I added a couple of words there. Let's see. She intends to help get Biden re-elected, and the former First Lady will play a limited role in the effort as she did during the 2020 presidential election. Play a more limited role. She wants nothing to do with this. And by the way, a President Stupid Turd Face says, spokesman, the Obamas were enormously helpful in electing Biden in 2020. The only thing that helped Biden get elected in 2020 was that he stayed in the basement, and the media was all over him helping him, and so was the Department of Freaking Justice and the FBI and social media and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and everybody freaking else and TikTok and everything else. That's how he won the presidency. Give me a break. So Big Mike says she's not going to run. And Kirsten's not going to run. By the way, let's see.
Real quick, we got Bill on the line, and he's talking about how Apple just got $1 billion fine the other day.
Oh, that's right. Bill, welcome aboard. Happy, what is this, Tuesday with a Kimmer, Pete, maybe, and Flounder. What's going on, man?
Hey, Kimmer. Good to hear from you. Or good to talk to you. So yesterday, they got Apple got fined $1.5 billion right off the top line by the European Union for, I guess, illegally sending people to their Apple Music platform and steering them away from their competitors. Now, to me, I mean, there's a dotted line to all the big tech companies that would be prone to all the censoring they do, all of the, the steering and blocking, and, they move people into their profitable zones and keep them away from their competitors.
Yeah.
Where is that going to end? And could it be that we could get that same kind of horsepower here in the United States to control these clowns?
Well, we see where it's going. We see what's happened to our country. And again, remember, wasn't it YouTube or Facebook had an office in the FBI building so they could work together on social media censorship and stuff? The whole thing is outrageous. And I don't know what the ending is. I mean, it's a great question. I think we're seeing what's happening. I mean, the direction we're going. Look at our country. Oh my God, gender things and hate and racism. And Donald Trump is suddenly a Nazi. And they're the ones who want to make sure only one person can run for president. I mean, oh my God, I don't get it. I can't. This is not my country.
If Europe could arbitrarily just fine a corporation $1.5 billion, could America do that too?
Well, I doubt it, but it'd be nice to try. Wouldn't it be nice to say, just see what happens, do it, and then make the courts overturn it, and just put it on the record. What do you think?
I'd love it. There's something we should track, because I tell you what, there's going to be some money grabbing going on here. All the other countries out there are going to go, gee, if the European Union got $1.5 billion, maybe we can get $500 million, or for the same kind of offenses. I don't know.
Yeah, what a time of the world. Hey, listen, thanks, man. I really appreciate your input and your call. 346, Kimmer, maybe Pete and Flounder on 106.3 right here.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
What's your retirement plan? Master Plan Retirement Consultants specialize in constructing plans designed to meet the challenges you could face over the course of a retirement. As holistic retirement planners, we cover tax, income, Social Security, legacy, healthcare, and long-term care planning. Our strategies are designed to maximize your retirement savings and income while minimizing taxes and protecting your assets from forces that could disrupt your retirement, providing peace of mind. A fiduciary advisory firm, Master Plan Retirement, works with you to create the potential for a sustainable retirement and a legacy to be remembered. Join us on our weekly radio show, Retirement Roadmap, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on XTRA 106.3 as we discuss retirement topics for today's financial environment. Episodes can also be found on YouTube and on your podcast platform. Find us at masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Jordan B. Peterson, We Who Wrestle with God Tour.
If you say the truth and nothing else,
you'll have an immense adventure as a consequence. You won't know what's going to happen to you, but the truth will reveal the world the way it's intended to be revealed, and the consequence for you will be that you'll have the adventure of your life.
Jordan B. Peterson, live at State Farm Arena, Friday, March 15th. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop right at Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer 350 with Pete Not Today and Flounder at 106.3 with Ozzy Osborne. By the way, the 3 o'clock hour on 106.3 brought to you by our good friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to grow your business, visit firstlibertyga.com. You'll be glad you did. Ozzy Osborne, 2002, the first episode of Osborne's TV show aired on MTV in America, focusing on the Madman and his family, Sharon, 2 of their 3 kids. Oblivious to the camera, they bicker, squabble, curse, and hang out backstage at Ozzy shows. Ozzy Osborne, was it the real? What was it even called? The Real Osbornes, or what was it? I forgot what it's called. I didn't ever watch it.
Was it just
Osborne?
the Osbornes, or let me find out.
No, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. I was just floundering. Notice how I brought you into every conversation here. Birthdays include Mark. By the way, got a lot of good feedback on your kitty. They love your little kitty, Lucas. We need video of Winston.
All right, I'll get some. We got
to get Winston and the kitty playing together. Or for that matter, you two and Veronica playing together.
I'll think about that.
Oh, all right, sir. Mark, that's never going to happen.
Winston and Lucas for sure.
There you go. Marcia wouldn't. No, I don't blame you. I wouldn't let anybody take a look at her either. They'll come over and say, hey, what do you think you're doing? Marcia Winfield, the actress, is 70 years old. She played Roz, the hard-as-nails bailiff on the original Night Court. Marcia Winfield is 70. Well, good for you. And now our history list includes 2019. Forbes magazine named Kylie Jenner the youngest self-made billionaire from her money mostly from Kylie Cosmetics. Kylie Jenner, youngest self-made billionaire. She was 21 5 years ago. Good Lord. And it all started because her sister was a slut on TV.
The Kardashians?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian.
Well, she more than that, she made a porn film with her boyfriend and then it got leaked.
That's where it
She's
started.
famous for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, she's a celebritante.
She organized closets for friends, and that's how she got her start.
She's a celebritante who was having sex on that leaked video, and all of a sudden, then we got the big butt thing going, and it was all whole bing wham pow, and there you go. And then the OJ trial, the lawyer, Kardashian, it was unbelievable. And Bruce Jenner, the connections of all that stuff. Wow. I mean, what a story, really.
Well, what would be curious is, do you think Bruce Jenner would have transitioned without the Kardashians?
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, he lasted a long time as a guy.
But he told himself that his entire life he felt like he was a woman.
Yeah. So what led him to finally? I mean, the time after so long after the Olympics, and then I don't know.
Maybe he wanted to be as pretty as a Kardashian?
I don't know. And again, the whole thing creeps me out. I just can't look at him as a girl. I'm sorry. He's a freaking decathlon champion. I met him when his daughters were like 10. And God, they were so beautiful when he brought them to the Olympics in it was in 96. We were sitting there, and he walks in with his 2 daughters, and I thought, oh, my God, they looked like angels. They were just stunning. And it was a guy, the decathlon champion, Anyway, so, but at least he's got a reasonable attitude. He doesn't believe in having trannies do girl sports if they're boys. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in, if you are who you believe you are, then
or
be
children
yourself.
transitioning and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he's got a pretty, and again, most people, I feel bad for the guy. Can you imagine living your whole life, especially as a decathlon Olympic champion, really thinking you're a girl? Wanting to be a woman, the real woman inside you. It must have been a nightmare for 30 years or 50 years or whatever the hell it was.
But at the same time, he got married and had kids.
Yeah, right. So, well, he was fighting him. I mean, again, it must be a horrible thing to go through. I feel sorry for you. But again, you're not going to affect. I'm not against you. I don't want you transitioning children, but live your own life, and I feel bad for you. All right, hold on, got 3:54. I'm almost out of time. Hillary on P. Stinky Fart Cabbage says, let's play cut one there, Flounder. She says, Biden's old. Let's get over it. Here we go.
And somebody the other day said to me, Zerlina, well, but Joe Biden's old. I said, you know what? Joe Biden is old. Let's go ahead and accept the reality. Joe Biden is old. So we have a contest between one candidate who's old, but who's done an effective job and doesn't threaten our democracy.
Trump. Yeah, that's Trump.
And we have another candidate who is old, barely makes sense when he talks, is dangerous, and threatens our democracy.
Biden, yeah.
So really, pick between your two old ones and figure out how you're going to save our democracy, because no matter where you stand on the political spectrum, you want to maintain freedom and the rule of law and protection for people's fundamental rights.
The rights
at least,
of fundals.
I used to think so.
Oh, you did used to think that. I'm so jealous. I think of Bill there laying at night, just kissing that big, fat, sweaty neck of hers and thinking, oh, God, that's here she. Yes, let's remember now when she called for peace and unity and said let's all start being nice to each other here with Hillary Rodham here with the P. Stinky Fart Cabbage, as you recall from maybe not the other guy. Yeah. By the way, this is incredible. Flounder, we have the special the segment from the documentary. This is incredible. The Biden campaign has just released a teaser of a documentary, and it's called Life in the Day of a Sexual Pile Driver by the First Lady. And she is showing you now, the two of them together, how they spend their afternoons and the excitement of all of their incredible activity. It's a day in the life of the sexual pile driver, a special documentary teaser with the First Lady and the President of the United States on an afternoon. Here we go.
Move fast. Run all the way, let's stop and run all the way back.
Let me see what you got.
I'll just dump in with yours.
Nope.
They're picking strawberries.
A single berry. What's the matter with you?
Must have eaten them all. Retired people sought for hand-bill delivery. Some walking involved. Paul, I can walk.
Is that why you came rushing back here?
You want to know why I came back so fast? I got the end of our lane. I couldn't remember where the old town road was. One little way in the woods, there was nothing familiar, not one damn tree.
Yeah.
Scared me half to death.
Tree.
Wow.
That's why I came running back here to you. See your pretty face.
Yeah, wow.
I could feel safe. I was still...
See, you can feel, again, it just shows the incredible power of the First Lady and the man running the world. Oh, Flounder, I don't know what to think. Do we have time for a Flounder's Funny? Right before the news break?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Here's a little something to put a smile.
People are lazy. How many people, when they're taking a shower, actually take the time to bend over and soap up their feet? Yeah, 3 people raise their hand. The rest of us are like, hey, the floor's wet. Soap's traveling down there. The feet are sloshing around. That's taken care of. I mean, I'm not pulling a hammy trying to get between my toes. I don't want to be walking around with a limp like, hey, man, what's wrong? Hey, look at my toes. The first concert I ever saw was The Who. It's pretty cool first concert. For those that don't know, Roger Daltrey is the lead singer. And during the instrumentals of songs during the concert, he would like take the mic out of the stand and he'd like whip it around. And he'd let it fly out and then he'd like yank it back and then catch it out of the air. It was really cool. It was very awesome. And the other night at karaoke, I got a little carried away. Didn't go very well. It was a cordless mic.
And who's our friend there?
That's Bobby Tessel.
Bobby Tessel. We've had him on
he's
before.
one of the guys. He's on. I find him on Dry Bar Comedy, but he does a lot of the one-liners. They're quick,
really?
Kind of quick jokes.
Cool. Well, those are fun. 3:59, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Coming up, the VA now saying, oh, no, that kiss is okay. The kiss, World War II, famous kiss for the guy grabbing the nurse. We'll talk about that coming up shortly. Also, the Iditarod race. Man, I hope they've changed. We'll talk about it. I never used to be a big fan of that because of the way they treated the dogs, and I'm hoping that that's all over with. There was kind of an event involving a moose. We'll talk about shortly. 4 o'clock, Kimmer, maybe Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. How's your Tuesday?
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
The first polls close 3 hours from now. Lisa Brady, Fox News. As 15 states decide which Republican presidential hopeful gets their delegates.
It's no secret Nikki Haley is down big in the delegate count right now. There are questions circling as to why she is still in this race, but she counters by saying, look, Republicans have to start winning again, and she feels she gives Republicans the best chance to win, including in down ballot races.
Fox's Bill Malugin in Charleston, the former South Carolina governor in her home state for tonight's results. Former President Trump could clinch the GOP nomination as early as next week if he does well enough today. Super Tuesday could also give President Biden most of the delegates he needs as he prepares for Thursday's State of the Union address, hoping in part to convince Americans his economic agenda is working.
The good news is inflation is the lowest it's been in 3 years. And last year alone, inflation came down by 2/3.
But prices are higher than when he took office and still rising. He's been meeting today with his competition council, highlighting continued efforts to lower costs. Arizona Independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema will not seek re-election.
In a statement on social media, Sinema says that despite her effort to be a voice of compromise, Congress has become a divisive place.
We've arrived at that crossroad, and we chose anger and division. I believe in my approach, but it's not what America wants right now.
Sinema left the Democratic Party and has been critical of President Biden's handling of the border. The senator was one of the lead negotiators of a failed bipartisan border deal earlier this year. Sinema's exit sets up a likely race between Democrat Ruben Gallego and Republican Carrie Lake in a race that could determine which party controls the Senate.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. Just getting word New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez and his wife are indicted again, facing new obstruction charges and an expanded corruption case. A sell-off on Wall Street, the Dow down 404. America's listening to Fox News.
Federal authorities are spying on conservatives. They were just exposed for pressuring banks to look for transactions with keywords like MAGA, Trump, and Bible. This is not the America I know. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I am deeply concerned about the tyranny I see in Washington. And this is why I'm thankful for physical gold IRAs, because they offer tangible financial security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. To find out more, text the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. This is your chance to secure your IRA or your 401k against the unpredictable nature of our economy. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 now to request your free info kit on gold IRAs. That's PROTECT to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
Look out. Dun, 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 dun. MC, baby. The Hammerman. 403. How's it going? Happy Tuesday. Kimmer Pete, not today, though, with a little technical thing going on there. And Flounder on 106.3. 2000, this very day, MC Hammer became a preacher at the Jubilee Christian Center in San Jose. He had been declared bankrupt in 1996 after squandering $50 million of his fortune. And 4 years later, he was a preacher. MC, I don't know what he's doing. Is he still doing stuff now? I have no idea. He's still alive, right, and doing stuff? I have no idea.
He's still alive. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's kind of out of the public eye.
Yeah. Let's see. Our birthday list includes, you may, if you watched Hill Street Blues or Doogie Howser, you know the name James B. Sicking. 90 years old. He was the cop with I think he had glasses and kind of a mustache, kind of a stickler guy, and also on Doogie Howser, the old man. James Sicking, 90 years old. And on this day in history, 1997, guilty much, Switzerland's 3 largest banks decided, golly, for some reason, to create a fund to pay the victims and their families who suffered from the Holocaust. So they came up with $71 million to start paying them back for, obviously, the money that they confiscated during World War II. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, by the way, 4 o'clock hour is 4:04, almost 4:05. And our 4 o'clock hour is sponsored by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House. A Kimmer sponsor if you need a safe, much like the Kimmer when I didn't have one down in Florida. When I retired, the VA just got me again yesterday. They got me good. No, we don't believe you, sir. Don't have your medical record, so you want to just jump off a cliff, that'd be fine. So don't be like the Kimmer. Get yourself a safe and keep your stuff in it. I know they have a warehouse, a showroom up there in Ackworth. Go on the web. Check them out, atlantasafehouse.com. 4:05 here with the Kimmer Pete Not Today and Flounder. Just see that. I put a picture on Facebook of we're going to do politics here in a minute, too. I put a picture on Facebook. I couldn't believe it. Katie Pavlich. I just saw her. She's on Fox News. She was on the early show. She's going to be on. She's sometimes on the 5 and does a lot of stuff. If you know watch Fox, you know, Kate. I couldn't believe it. I didn't recognize her. And I don't know whether it's her hair is totally different, but it can't be just the hair. I mean, she looks like she has a different face, and I don't know whether it's makeup. They wear way too much.
They wear way too much makeup on
all
this,
those girls do. They, especially the Fox girls. Oh my, they just smear them in it. And I know it's not them doing it. It's the makeup people at Fox make them do that. But I didn't recognize her. I put it on Facebook and YouTube. I did not recognize her face. She didn't look the same like the same girl. And by the way, she's a knockout chick. I mean, oh my God. I mean, she's she's smart and tough. She runs like marathons and does, cross training. And I mean, she's a freaking Navy SEAL, basically. I know I'm not man enough for her. I'm freaking built. I mean, she's a tough chick. And I couldn't believe she doesn't look like Katie Pavlich. I was just astounded. Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought I'd say it. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Okay, we know that the Hillary on Peace Stinky Fart Cabbage got it backwards. I mean, the nerve of these freaking Democrats is saying that Donald Trump is a danger to our democracy, so in order to keep our democracy, we're going to prevent him from running. The freaking Nazis. And they just keep saying the big lie, and people believe it. Mark Cuban, have you heard about this? Mark Cuban says he will vote for President Poopy Pants no matter what, even if he's on his deathbed. The Shark Tank star doubled down on his endorsement for President Showers with daughter. He said he would still vote for Biden even in a scenario in which the president was a flesh-eating zombie with 5 seconds to live, where upon being reelected, Earth would plunge into 1,000 years of darkness. And Cuban responded, "My limit is 300 years of darkness." He said if they were having his last wake and it was him versus Trump and he was being given last rites, I would still vote for Joe Biden on his deathbed. And he voted for Nikki Haley in the Texas primary as a protest vote against Trump. Well, what's his freaking problem? You can't tell me that Mark Cuban, he's still a billionaire, right? Maybe not by much. But he can't be happy with the economy. He can't be happy with where the country's going. Is he possibly happy with the direction of what our culture is right now? I mean, seriously. And the open borders, that doesn't affect businessmen, I guess maybe for cheaper labor. But how long can they keep getting away with that?
He's worth $6.2 billion.
Well, I think the new list came out, and Elon Musk is now lost his spot to the Jeff Bezos is back on top now. I think it's like $200 billion to $199 billion or something like that. I can't even imagine.
Good Elon Musk is doing versus Amazon.
Yeah,
come on,
that's right. I mean, with that kind of money, I mean, and it's not real. It's not real, is it? I mean, it's not like they have, $10 bills of $200 billion.
In cash, no.
So anyway, by the way, Nikki Haley says she will not make a third-party run if she doesn't do any good. Well, this is silly. Why is she still running? I mean, I suppose. Well, everybody's got their own opinion. I suppose
she still thinks something is going to happen to Trump legally.
Yeah, but my opinion is, even if it does, let's say Trump, if he dies, if he says, I'm not running after all, she wouldn't be the number one. They go to DeSantis.
They go to DeSantis.
So what's your point? I mean, DeSantis isn't running anymore, and he'd still be the number one pick. So why is she running if she's not going to be the number one pick? I mean, somebody told her to keep going. And I can see where she'd want to go through her own state. But after that, it doesn't make any sense that she thought she had any chance of anything being significant on Super Tuesday. So she's just embarrassing herself. And she keeps saying Donald Trump can't win and he's not the right guy. He's too old. I mean, she's blasting the GOP front runner and the former president and the guy who's probably going to be hopefully be president, and dividing the Republican Party. And here we go again. For what reason? What has she got against so firmly against Donald Trump? How come she can't get on board? She can't really believe. Well, I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh, let's do Jake Tapper. And let's not do Jake Tapper. He's got enough problems as it is. Almost 4:10 here. Can repeat and flounder. Speaking of politics, apparently he has like a fetish for a presidential unit. Jake Tapper on CNN last night was talking about Nikki Haley and talking with her, and they were talking about the Supreme Court ruling of Colorado not kicking Trump out of the presidential ballot race, and they were Tapper and Nikki Haley talking about the decision, and she wanted to beat Trump fair and square. Anyway, here's a little bit of the conversation. Listen carefully as we bring you Nikki Haley and CNN's Jake Tapper.
Explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an insurrection, and I have to an insurrection. Sorry, an insurrection. And I have to say I got up at 5 this morning to do Casey Hunt's show, and I'm exhausted. So
yeah, let's play that again, Flounder, if you don't mind, sir, just in case they missed it.
Explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection, and I have to an insurrection. Sorry, an insurrection. And I have to say I got up at 5 this morning to do Casey Hunt's show, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, oh, poor baby. Anyway. But again, there's still, I don't understand what's she doing. And she's all over the place. Everybody's interviewing her so she can blast Donald Trump again. I just don't understand. Why do we do this? What the hell's the matter with you people? Anyway, sorry. 4:11. By the way, again, at 6 o'clock tonight, they're going to have a meeting of the Athens County Commission to talk about public safety investments at the contentious meeting today, because they're going to be gathering in City Hall well ahead of the 6 o'clock meeting tonight. A group called Make Athens Safe Again holding a rally. And will hold the Athens Anti-Discrimination Movement will hold a unity vigil. In other words, trying to make sure that they don't stop having undocumented people stopped at the border of the Athens County. Oh, my God. Remember what happened the last time we talked about this, when the mayor got caught because he got caught running for election, and sort of the sheriff who was running for election last time said that they were all in favor of having all the inclusion, all the people coming in. Should we do a little soundbite there, Flounder, maybe from one of the meetings with the mayor of Athens the other day when they complained about him letting those illegals in? Yeah, we got that one.
Sorry, I was doing so. What are we calling for?
The mayor, Kelly guy, on
yes, right here.
The thing with the mayor for the meeting there.
This term sanctuary city doesn't have a sole legal or procedural definition. You can look in Georgia statute, and you can find a clear definition for a unified government. You can look in contractual language, and you can find out exactly what it means to be an SEC institution. Sanctuary city doesn't track with either of those. And so that term means different things to different people depending on the context of the discussion.
Context?
We know many of the elements. Liar. Many of the elements. Liar. Where at?
Anyway, it was pretty ugly. Went on. And there's going to be a thing, because they have the people to keep us safe and the people to say let everybody in. They're going to all meeting this afternoon before the 6 o'clock meeting in Athens. That'll be interesting. We'll keep you posted. 4:13, Kimmer, not Pete today, and Flounder. And Flounder's Funny's coming up, and we won't have holy crap. If you want to do a sportscast, anybody want an edition of sportscast at 5:15, you're welcome to try.
Just call in.
We'll take it.
We'll be doing auditions.
An hour from now, it's 4:13, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And not Pete.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast's premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Almost 2 decades ago, when John Linder introduced the fair tax into Congress. And then John Linder and I got together and wrote a book called The Fair Tax Book. #1 New York Times bestseller, all categories. Talk about being blind to reality. I actually thought back then that politicians, if they saw something that would clearly be good for this country, they'd act on it. But no, For most politicians, Republicans and Democrats, the primary question is what's good for the politician, not what's good for the country. So, the fair tax is still alive, but on life support. And the income tax, that monstrosity, is still with us. Here's some points that John Stossel brought out in a recent column. If you're an exotic dancer, which is another way of saying stripper, and you have to go out and get fake fun bags in order to increase your tips, the price of the breast implants is tax deductible. If you have an overbite, sometimes called buck teeth, you can get an orthodontist to write you a prescription for clarinet lessons. Then they will be tax deductible. Don't ask. If you have a watchdog for your security, the cost of feeding and taking care of that watchdog is not tax deductible. But if you feed feral cats in your neighborhood, the cost of the food you feed them is tax deductible. Whaling is pretty much banned now, but if you happen to own a whaling boat, you're eligible for $10,000 in tax deductions. The absurdity of it all. And we had a chance to change the whole system, but the politicians didn't want to give up their power, and the people didn't demand it. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers. Howard Brothers has everything for your yard. Lawnmowers, string trimmers, edgers, chainsaws, chippers, shredders, hedge trimmers, handheld and backpack blowers, reel mowers, rotary mowers, sprayers, pressure washers, compact tractors. The list goes on and on. And they sell the best premium brands that will last and not frustrate you when you're ready to use them. Now with 7 locations around town: Alpharetta, Athens, Dallas, Dorville, Duluth, Lula, and Oakwood. Why go anywhere else? Howard Brothers has everything for your yard.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack. We specialize in only foundation repair. What is foundation repair? Foundations sink or settle. These issues need to be addressed. It only becomes more costly the longer you put it off. What is the biggest cause of foundation problem? Either poor construction, inferior site preparation, or weather. Drought causes cracks in your foundations. If you see any signs of foundation issues, please contact us at atlantaramjack.com.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on XTRA 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the Podcast Park right here at XTRA 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family. And 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled and without any hesitation answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Don't miss the Atlanta Mushroom Festival, Sunday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day at Park Tavern in Piedmont Park. Beginning at 12 p.m. and ending at 7 p.m., this dog and family-friendly event features educational speakers, live music, and over 35 mushroom-themed vendors. Tickets are free with email registration or $10 for Comfort VIP, which directly supports the nonprofit festival. For more information, visit AtlantaMushroomFestival.com or Atlanta Mushroom Festival on all social platforms.
All right. Now, what do they mean by mushrooms? Is this, I mean, seriously, a mushroom festival? Is this like
it has something to do with probably mushrooms, hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Is it? But are they legal?
They're becoming more and more common, yes, because what people do is, turn this down. People do is they microdose. They take a very small amount, and apparently it helps with their.
It's like a medicinal thing, or it's just to get high?
Some people it helps depression. Some people it helps with equilibrium. Huh. I mean, so.
And is it like a serious medical? I mean, I've obviously heard of hallucinogenic.
So I mean, what they do is they can put them in capsules, or like with weed, they do edibles. So whether it's
so is this a group that are actually talking about hallucinogenic mushrooms then, so they can legally meet and have them and stuff like that?
Yeah, I guess I'm not too familiar with it, but I think Rhino might be going, and I'll
bet he would. Yeah, I bet he would.
Well, our salesperson also Mike McLean,
just to double check to see.
Account,
sure,
so,
yeah. Could be people. It's business totally. Because you meet clients. It could. Not that they'd remember.
Business opportunity. Yeah, you never know.
I'll bet there's some hot. I'll bet those babes are probably. Well, anyway, mushroom chicks have got to be hot chicks. I'm just saying. They got to be total great babes. I'll bet you.
Armpit hair.
Well, that's another possibility. Now, maybe I don't know. I have no idea. But they're all lovely and wonderful, and that's why we'll be happy to talk about them.
You should go check it out this weekend.
I don't think that's going to probably happen. 421. I got to go to the stable and take videos of the horses. That's my life. We're playing REM, by the way. I like this song. Losing My Religion. REM, and on this day, 1992, cleaned up at the Rolling Stone Music Awards. Album of the Year for Out of Time. Artist of the Year, Best Single for Losing My Religion. Best Video for Losing My Religion. And Best Band, Best Guitarist, and Best Songwriting Awards. REM, 1992. Holy smoke-a-roonies. It's a great song. It's a nice song. It's kind of haunting. I think it's is this a sad song? It seems like a sad song. Losing my religion, like I don't care anymore kind of deal.
I'm not sure what the meaning behind the song is. But
isn't that funny, though? That my impression is that it's a sad song.
Right, because you're losing your religion.
I have no idea whether maybe you say, thank God, I can now go on with my happy life with a girl I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Here we go. I like this part of the song. It's good music. We heard you crying. Oh, that I heard you. Yeah, I like this song. I haven't heard this in a while. REM. Birthday list includes Penn Jillette, the magician of Penn and Teller. He's the one who talks. He's 6'6". Penn Jillette is 69 years old today, and they're they're a really interesting group. And they've made a hell of a career just doing goofy stuff. And the guy who doesn't talk. And again, do we ever decide why the other guy doesn't talk? Teller doesn't talk. I think he does talk. I mean, he can speak, but they decided not to do it, which is kind of funny. Birthday list, we did that. History, here we go. 1960, Sergeant Elvis Presley was discharged from the U.S. Army, served for 2 years, mostly in Germany, as I recall. Elvis Presley, Sergeant, released in 1960. Good for you. 422. Let's give away. You want to give away tickets? We have the Jordan B. Peterson tickets. Should we do that?
Absolutely.
We have 2 tickets to see Dr. Jordan B. Peterson and We Who Wrestle with God tour. It's a Friday, March 15th, week from this Friday, State Farm Arena, Friday, March 15th. 2 tickets. Professor, author, psychiatrist, podcaster, Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. And you can listen to our morning show as well. Is this tomorrow? I think it's last day to give away tickets, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
The morning show will have them tomorrow, XTRA, with Tug, the Rhino, and the Smart One. And then, of course, we'll give away Kimmer tickets here tomorrow as well. And you can go to livenation.com if you want to buy them on your own. But we'll just call in and tell Flounder how much you love the Kimmer. 404-7, if you're a girl, 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. If you're a girl, or you can pretend to be a girl, either way, we'll see. We'll have a winner there. 423. Pretty strict contest conditions. Oh, just tell the Kimmer I love you and you'll be fine. First girl to come down here and... Oh, no, never mind. That'd be silly. Speaking of that... Not that I was thinking of this. A Kentucky Democrat, a woman, state lawmaker, who also happens to be a farking doctor. Karen Berg is her name. I saw her on TV and I thought, oh my God, what a beast. The lawmakers in Kentucky were debating a bill which would make it a felony to have someone sell a sex doll looking like a child. So I guess it's okay to sell a sex doll if it looks like a human or a grown-up. I suppose. I guess they're on sale now in Kentucky, but they wanted to make a bill discussing whether they should make it a felony if you want a sex doll that looks like a child. And so this person, Senator Karen Berg, said, and listen to the following actual words, quote, there are what they call MAPs, minor attracted persons, MAP, minor attracted persons, and the limited amount of research that's done on these dolls, guys, suggests that they actually, for people who are attracted to minors, that these dolls actually decrease their proclivity to go out and attack children. It actually gives them a release that makes them less likely to go outside of their home. Dear God. A release? She's talking about a release, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm hearing a to see a doll, like a child, like a 5-year-old, 7-year-old doll. Yeah. Boy, let me get a release here with that little baby doll, sex doll. Dear God. And then, by the way, she said, well, I'll vote to ban it. I just want you to know that, it could be a great thing. Okay. Some reaction. Child, sex, doll are 3 words that don't belong together. My God. Fire this woman and then the other Democrat who thinks like she does. Wow, as a mom, I can think of more permanent solutions for pedophiles. None of them involve a blow-up doll. And by the way, this woman, this Berg, what's her name? Karen Berg says, as a mom and a physician, I'm, of course, deeply concerned the harm of pedophilia, and I regret if my question in committee didn't convey that. I voted in favor of outlawing child sex dolls. Aligns with my commitment to safeguarding well-being of our youth. Well, then why just say it? Why just say, boy, here's an idea. Let's give them a little doll so they can freak and don't have to go out and get a little boy or little girl. Yeah, there's an idea. Janet, oh God, I almost had it. Janet Elson, something like that. That's very close. Janet Elson.
Janet Ellis?
No. The former Clinton's masturbation girl. Janet, oh God, I almost had it. Not Janet Reno, Ellsworth. Oh crap, I had it. I hate this. Ellsworth. Oh God, what was her name? I like Eric Clapner. Oh, God, I had it. It's not coming out. Joycelyn Elders. I got it. I got a flounder. It's 4:27 exactly on the 5th of
What was the name?
Joycelyn Elders. And she was the one who testified. She was the Surgeon General. And she testified in order to stop, things like that, we should be teaching our little girls in school how to masturbate. Okie dokie. Anybody thought, that's a swell idea. Public education, ladies and gentlemen. Joycelyn Elders, how about that? Man, it took me an hour and a half.
Hey, at least you got there.
I got there. Okay, that's the thing, There's so much crap going on in my head after all these. I've been around too long.
Is it Janet Yellen?
No. Janet Yellen was the economics lady for the administration, the cabinet post. Janet Yellen's the economics director, whatever the hell they call it.
Anyway,
Finance director, yeah, whatever they call it. And no, it was Jocelyn Elders was the Surgeon General, and she's the one who got fired. That was the last straw. They said, no, okay, you got to go. 428. Oh, this is interesting. The story originally came out today, or I guess over the weekend. What's this? Tuesday? It was last night. That the Veterans Affairs, the VA, has now banned that famous, iconic World War II kiss celebrating the end of the war, where the sailor grabs the nurse and swings her around and her arms are flying and he plants a great big kiss right on her there. Well, the image as apparently was, let's see, Rima Ann Nelson, the girl's name, Rima Ann Nelson, wrote to everybody and all the employees of the VA and said, you're instructed to comply to remove any depictions of the famous photo, replace it with imagery deemed more appropriate. The photograph, which depicts a non-consensual act, is inconsistent with the VA's no-tolerance policy towards sexual harassment and assault. To foster a more trauma-informed environment that promotes the psychological safety of our employees and the veterans we serve, photographs depicting the VJ Day in Times Square should be removed from all Veterans Health Administration facilities. Hours later, they went on the horn to say, no, that's gone. Nope, sorry. This image is not banned from VA facilities. We will keep it at VA's facilities, said the official post. Should not have been sent out, was formally rescinded today. They didn't provide details of whose senior leaders were consulted on the whole damn thing. But again, this is a freaking girl. This is a girl who's in charge of their top operations official at the Health Administration for the freaking VA. And this girl took it upon herself to say, well, that's non-consensual sex. It wasn't sex. It was celebrating the end of the freaking war in 1945. Hell of a lot different than today, you freaking scumbag. VA. Typical freaking VA. Hey, let me repeat the story about how they told me to go to hell because I couldn't prove what day of the freaking work it was and what exactly doctor's address it was 21 years ago to get my freaking benefits from going to Vietnam. But let's worry about the kiss with a guy and the nurse for the VA. Hey, thanks a lot. Just go to hell. God, honest to God, what the hell? What's going on in here? God. All right. Now it's 4:30. Let's we got it all covered up. Happiness and goodness to follow. I'll talk about The Bachelor next. Oh, that'll do it. 4:30. Look out.
The Morning Extra is live weekday mornings from 6 to 10, and here's what you missed.
I did come up in the Broken Homeboy Club. Like, I knew the other divorced kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And some of them did have scenarios like this.
The Broken Homeboy Club. I grew up, my parents, until my dad died, they were married for 50 years. My mother-in-law and father-in-law have been married for 49 or 50.
You want to brag to the Broken Homeboy Club member?
I'm just saying, okay. I just never had the experience.
Why don't you say it like, hey, maybe if your parents stay together, maybe they loved you.
It's not at all. They love you regardless. I just don't know what to expect.
Do you want to sit me down and ask me if I blame myself for their divorce?
Yeah. Jeez, Tug. I'm so offended today.
See, you can't say
anything. You're horrible making fun of broken family.
You need a hug? You need a hug?
I'm fine. I'm hurting. I'm fine.
Yeah.
God. Good Lord, I can't.
Joe, you're not safe. Wait till he comes and fat shames you.
Yeah, fatty.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on XTRA 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Plus, you know what's going to be here before you know it? The heat. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. That's centralheat.com.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on XTRA 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
Look out. What a talent. God, way too soon. Every time I hear one of his songs, I say the same damn thing. I know it. Michael Jackson. I wonder if this is all instrumental. We have to wait and see. Well, this could go on for a while, so I could keep talking. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Pete's not available today. A little technical cowabunga with a difficulty there. 434. Oh, here we go. Oh, well, hello, Michael. Billie Jean, baby. I am the one, baby. Michael Jackson. You know, even the production, everything about it, it was just a really different sound. You got to give the guy and whoever produced all this stuff. I think it was that one guy mainly. Anyway, whatever. Michael Jackson, a 7-week run on this day in 1983 with Billie Jean, his fourth solo #1. It's also #1 in Britain. On this day, Michael Jackson's album Thriller went to #1 for the first time in Britain. Went on to become the biggest selling album of all time. It says here with sales over 65 million. Even more than the Eagles. I think we asked about this before. Hard to tell. Either way, it's a whole bunch. Our birthday list includes actor Kevin Connolly, Eric on Entourage, and other things. Kevin Connolly's 50 years old today. And how about a little historical note of some sort? Excuse me. On this day, sad news. 1963, Patsy Cline died in a plane crash in Tennessee. What a side. I used to love her stuff. I still do. Once in a while it pops up. Crazy. And then what was the other one? Walking Past Midnight. And, what was the very sad song where if you walk on by, don't talk to me or something? Didn't she do that? Yeah, Patsy Cline wasn't that way. She did Crazy was a famous one. And then... God, there was someone where she's supposed to ignore the guy if he walks by her or something. I don't remember. Anyway,
if you've got leaving on your mind.
No, I could be wrong. I could be thinking about somebody else. Walk on by. Who did? Oh, that was Dionne Warwick. Anyway.
Confused again, are we? Here we go. Round 3.
How unusual. Gee, I've never been wrong before.
Ever.
436. With a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's see. We got some new news on Arizona. Boy, this border thing. And again, tonight at 6 o'clock, Athens, Clark County, there's going to be competing protest groups. One calling for safety and security of our females and everybody else over in that whole area. And the other one saying we need to have all the illegals come in here because we want everybody to come in here. So this ought to be interesting. Meeting at 6 o'clock on the commission, talk about safety, and 2 competing vocal protest groups are going to be there. I don't think they anticipate any violence. This doesn't seem like the kind of thing that'll get ugly. But for the record, there are going to be 2 different protest groups. If you're in the area and want to check it out or avoid it, there you are. Let's see. Oh, a couple quick things I want to talk about Arizona. And AOC got creamed, too, here in a second. And the Iditarod race, and Elon Musk says something's happening. It's going to be worse than 9/11. We'll get to that here in a second. 437, Kimmer, not Pete today, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 1230 if you want to join us. I saw that Bitcoin... hit $69,000, which I think was a record today for Bitcoin. It went down a little bit. And so something's up with the economy. We don't. That's a sign of something, and I'm not sure what it is. Again, Pete's got a couple of them left, I think, and I wish when he bought they were about like $1,000.
Yeah, he bought it at $1,000. The problem is he doesn't know how to get it.
Yeah, didn't he lose his a code or something?
I think he probably has it. He just doesn't know how.
Where do you go?
Where do you access to get the funds?
Yeah. Anyway, and that was back when I thought I had money too. I'd have bought 5 or 6 or 7 of them. I mean, what, for $1,000? You know, back. You know, what the hell? Anyway. Let's see what else we got. I saw Tiffany walk by the other day. Every time I see Miss Tiffany, she was Pete and my former work wife at their other radio station, and we had a little cubbyhole office which had a window looking out over the downstairs little strip of strip malls, stores, and they had a tanning salon and the nail place. And so all the strippers would be showing up all day long and here, and walking in and out of the nail place and the tanning salon. And Miss Tiffany was our work wife, and Pete and I were in the little office, and every once in a while we'd be saying, "Oh man, look at that one of those little red shoes. Holy cow, boy, she's going." And Tiffany would say, "I can hear you." I know what you're saying. And every time, and she works here now. I mean, she was here long before we did. Last year. But anyway, so every time I see her, I get the biggest kick. She's so sweet. And her little girl's like 4 or 5 inches old, sweet. Anyway, 439. Just in, I got actually on my news iPad. How about that? Arizona governor, here we go, talking about border things for a minute here on Super Tuesday. Arizona has a Democratic governor, a girl, Katie Hobbs. The Republicans sponsored a bill which would authorize Arizona police to arrest illegal immigrants. Duh. If someone sneaks into your city or your state, you would think that you ought to be able to arrest them for breaking the law. I mean, it's clearly a law. Well, the veto, she vetoed it and said, no, we're not going to have that because she thought it was anti-immigrant. Well, duh. And she claims it immediately unconstitutional. The Republicans say the bill would have helped curb the plethora of crimes. Duh. Again, we're talking about the issue today of safety in Athens, Clark County at 6 o'clock tonight about the murder of a 22-year-old nursing student, Laken Riley. Remember that name? Where's all the the tributes to her? Where's all the marches for her? Where's all these statues for her? Where's all the people in the schools having rallies for her? How about rallies for illegal immigrants, sneaking alien invaders? Anyway, would have made it a lousy misdemeanor and for anybody in the state to cross over the border in any location other than a port of entry. Would have been a felony for illegal migrants or aliens to cross a border after they had already been deported, or if they'd been told to get out once before. In other words, they would have cracked down on people sneaking into Arizona, and the governor vetoed it. And so she says it doesn't secure our border. It's harmful for the businesses and communities and a burden for law enforcement. How do you figure that? Anyway, so that's gone. Kristen Sinema is not going to run for re-election. She's the switch-hitting senator. Used to be a Democrat. Now she's an independent in Arizona. She's not running for re-election. And this may help the Katie, what's her name, who ran for governor and lost. And she Katie Hobbs, is it? I think has a chance. She's a big Trump supporter. Anyway, now the other thing, one more border kind of deal here. AOC, man, what a story. This former bartender all of a sudden gets herself elected to Congress, remember when she first hit the scene? Man, she was in the news every day. She was all over television. She was being interviewed. She was literally in the news every stinking day. And I remember comparing her to our Georgia congresswoman who we elected, who lasted 1 term because you never heard a word from her. And AOC was freaking everywhere. And all of a sudden now she's everywhere for the wrong reasons because her own people are turning against her. Well, she was at a Brooklyn movie theater last night, and some protesters were complaining that she needs to call out Israel's military campaign in Gaza, and she needs to call it a genocide. Anyway, well, here's some of the protesting went with AOC, Ocasio-Bangbangio Stupidio, last night in Brooklyn.
Cut it, and you're going to cut this, and you're going to clip this so that it's completely out of context. I already said that it was, and y'all are just going to pretend that it wasn't over and over again. It's up, man. If you're not helping these people, and you're not helping them.
You refuse to.
You're not helping them.
She's complaining that she sees, I've already said it's genocide and you're editing out. It's not fair. She said, I need you to understand this is not okay. And one of the protesters right in her face. And she says, you're lying when they say, I mean, my God. Cuts to everybody going outside, running around to confront the rabble-rousers. Her boyfriend says, okay, stop, man. She goes into a tirade, afraid that the video clip would go viral. Again, like she says, you're going to make it clip completely out of context. I already said it was. You're going to pretend it wasn't over and over again. I mean, she's just, that's what you get. And again, good. I'm glad they're all, everybody's upset. We need an upheaval. But I'd rather have one for the right reasons. But if you can get these people to stop electing these idiot Democrats, I know that the entire congressional district is not going to elect suddenly a strong Republican, but maybe they'll get somebody who's a little different opinion. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Donald Trump may even wrap up. I think it's possible if he wins all the states today on Super Tuesday, he may actually wrap up the nomination. Or maybe next week. I think he might be in next week. Might have to wait another week. Anyway, 443 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Years ago, I remember seeing, I don't know if I saw it or read it. It might have been a very long special investigative report on the Iditarod, the famous sled dog race. And, of course, it was all based on getting the serum for the diphtheria epidemic in Alaska, and they had to use sled dogs to get the medicine there to save all the people and so forth. And ever since then, they've had a yearly Iditarod a dog sled race to kind of recreate what they did to save the people who were dying of diphtheria. Well, many, many years ago, I remember somebody dropped the bomb on exactly what it was like, and there were stories of how the mushers, again, they're trying to win, and these dogs, they're not like their pets, not like they cuddle up with them and kiss them goodnight every night and sleep with them in their bed and stuff like that. They're outdoor dogs. These are working dogs, and they love to work. They love to race. They love to work, and they're bred for that. But it's a tough life. And there was examples, I remember reading I was crying reading this, where if a dog doesn't do his thing, the owner will just get rid of him, take him out of the harness and get somebody else. If the musher feels that he's not pulling his fair share, they just treat him like crap. I hope that's not true anymore. But this again was years and years and years ago. But it's a tough life. Now, what happened just the other day, in fact, yesterday, a legendary musher who's won the damn thing 5 different times, Dallas Seavey's his name. He said a moose attacked his dogs at 1:30 in the morning in Alaska, the Iditarod race, and he had to shoot it with his pistol, killed the moose, got entangled with his dogs and the musher on the trail. He said it was pretty brutal. The moose fell on the sled, sprawled on the trail. I gutted it the best I could, but it was pretty ugly. And by the way, they're going to make sure that the meat is given to whoever they get it to, immediately, given to whoever they needs it. And the dog who was injured was immediately flown from the area to Anchorage and is being evaluated by veterinarians. So again, I think clearly the light was shown on them, and ever since then. But again, I remember saying, that they would just hit him and beat him, or just send him to the side of the road. It was just horrible. I'm assuming that's by far no longer the case. I still don't like. Those dogs will die. They'll run to death. They'll do anything to please and to show how tough and strong they are. And it's a very specific thing where they have to have them in order on the trail. Certain dogs can be lead dogs, and you have to have certain ones on the left or the right, and certain with other dogs. It's very specific how they do it. But again, it's a brutal sport. Or activity if it's a sport. 446. Okay, Kimmer, Pete, and not Pete today, and Flounder. 106.3. Leave me alone. We're back.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
We have a professor, of course, from California, of course, Cal State University. This professor is telling us that it might be racist to be a Taylor Swift fan. That from Professor Melina Abdullah, professor of Pan American Studies at Cal State, Black Lives Matter organizer, hip-hop scholar, you name it. Everything is racist, and Jussie Smollett is innocent. can't make this stuff up.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
It's not just a Tuesday, though. It's Super Tuesday for 17 states as they make their choices for their party's presidential candidate. Donald Trump took one step closer to securing the Republican nomination with a win last night in North Dakota. Former President Trump beat rival Nikki Haley by 70 points, securing all 29 delegates from the state. Cobb County police have stated that they received reports about a TikTok post suggesting the brawl that happened at Six Flags Over Georgia was planned in advance. A video titled "You Live in Atlanta and You Already Know What's Finna Go Down" March 2nd at Six Flags prompted investigations. Police have charged the 15-year-old boy who shot at police and was struck by return fire. The boy remains in critical condition. Scott Rhino, Extra 106.3.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 106.3 on social media or download the Extra 106.
March is the month of marriage, and we're celebrating at Solomon Brothers Jewelers with our annual Marry Me March event. Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon from Solomon Brothers Jewelers, and we are here to help couples tie the knot this month with engagement rings and wedding bands at this year's best prices. All this month, we are offering savings of up to 60% off rings and wedding bands from our top designs like halos, the hidden halo, single shared prong, double shared prong, and every design you can imagine in our store. Choose from our selection of hundreds of beautiful rings in every budget or hand design the ring of their dreams. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice. So don't miss our Marry Me March event going on all this month and save up to 60% off engagement rings and wedding bands. Visit us today in any of our 3 showrooms on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and now in Peachtree City. Or shop online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
We're talking. Da 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 da. All right, now why is my stupid iPad sticking again? I don't get it. It's just that sometimes it just my finger up and down and it won't freaking move. I mean, I don't get it. What the hell? Now it stopped again. I mean, is there sensitivity in the glass?
No.
My finger's too hot? Or, I mean, what the hell? I don't get it.
It freezes sometimes.
So this is normal?
Probably not. Probably just needs to be shut off and...
Well, whatever.
Seems more of a nuisance these days for you.
It's me. I'm sure it's me. I'm sure I do. I'm sure my fingerprint is slightly off by an angle or something. Maybe the nail touched it instead of the skin. I'm sure it's my fault. I'm almost positive. Oh God, here's the Zepperoony. Yeah, Led Zeppelin, baby. 1971, Led Zeppelin started a thank you tour. 12 dates thank you tour for British fans, 1971. All the clubs from their early days and charging the same admission prices as they did in 1968. The first show was at the Ulster Hall in Belfast, Northern Ireland. They played songs from their upcoming 4th album, including Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, Going to California, and Rock and Roll. Led Zeppelin, 1971. And let's see, a birthday list. Includes Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Irvin, 58 years old today. And I think he's on HBO now, or one of them, doing sports stuff on the weekends. And let's see, on this day, in 1963, think about, boy, do I remember this. 1963, Spud Mellon, the co-founder of Whammo, the sports company. Spud Mellon patented the hula hoop. They sold, in 1963, They sold 25 million in 4 months. Everybody had hula hoops. Everybody. And only the girls could do it. The guys couldn't do it. We all tried. Parents tried. Everybody looked ridiculous. It was like when the Chubby Checker and the Twist came out. All of a sudden, all the 12, 13, 14-year-old kids were watching their parents, trying to do the Twist and try to do hula hoops. It was horrible. But man, I'll never forget it. And it was a whole thing. It was only the girl. There were two different ways to do the hula hoops. Either you go back and forth like this, or you do your swing hip thing. And boys had a hell of a time trying to do it, and all the girls could do it. It was just to drive us nuts. Silly thing, hula hoops. 25 million in 4 months. A plastic loop. That was it. What a hit.
And how much is he worth now?
Well, I mean, my God. I remember the story of the guy, B.B. Rebozo, one of Nixon's buddies down in Key Biscayne, Florida, was the guy who invented the spray nozzle. The little teeny nozzle that goes on all spray bottles, squirt bottles. Trillionaire. I stayed at the condo once in Aspen, or was it Vail? No, Aspen. Stayed in a condo in Aspen, owned by the guy. It was some hot chick on me there. I didn't know the babe I was with knew him. Well, I didn't know the guy, but the babe I was with knew him because her ex-husband worked with her. And he was the guy who invented the little rivets that go in lawn furniture. And little aluminum lawn furniture. He made the little rivets for every piece of... Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd just like to be that guy. Sell those for a penny a piece or something, Anyway, $4.50. See, I can't think of... Who thought of that? Somebody thought of that. And, that's what... I guess you can still do it. What can we think of now? What's left? It's got to be all cerebral. I mean, instead of mechanical things... Anyway, 454. Elon, by the way, speaking of the future, holy cow, this is kind of scary. Elon Musk says somebody is laying the groundwork for something far worse than 9/11. And he says it's because President Scumbag has admitted flying 320,000 unvetted migrants aliens into America, and it has national security vulnerabilities. Musk took to his platform X today, said the administration is importing voters and creating a national security threat. Highly probable that the groundwork's being laid for something worse than 9/11, a matter of time. Officials refuse to say who was flown into and where, but Elon Musk says they've exposed where the administration's admitted flying 320,000 immigrants into America. They are using those cell phone apps, allowing migrants undetected arrival by air with no legal rights to enter the United States. In 2022, the Transportation Program Administration used taxpayers' money to move migrants throughout the country on overnight flights. At least 43 different American airports from January through December 2023. Secret flights at night, hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens flown in by Biden's expansion of the One App program. Using people applying for asylum could use the app from their home countries on their phone, and boom, you get to come in. And Elon Musk says something bad's going to happen. And by the way, RuPaul, of all people, Andre Charles, RuPaul's Drag Race, declared, the celebrity drag queen, he is building a defensive compound out of concerns about a looming civil war. RuPaul was talking to Ronan Farrow in The New Yorker and says, I'm fearing the absolute worst. We have moments away from blanking civil war. He said, all the signs are there. Humans on the planet are in a cycle of destruction. I'm plotting a safety net. Referring to a fortified compound being constructed on 60,000-acre ranch of his husband, George, in Wyoming. He said, I wouldn't call it a bunker. It's a lot of concrete and a lot of things. I keep thinking about these castles I'm going to bed to. Let's see. The celebrity drag queen went on to note the human ego can justify terrible things that people do. These kings, Henry VIII and Edward II, all these people who have just decimated hundreds of thousands of people because their feelings were hurt. He laments many young people want their feelings to be kept safe. Feelings are indicators, they're not facts. Parents teaching their kids about safe spaces, and I feel uncomfortable. It's like, you know what? The world is not a safe space. You have to find the comfort. It's mostly uncomfortable. Holy crap! The drag queen agrees with the Kimmer. One of my very first memes that Kimmer put on a T-shirt was, you do not have the right to never be offended. Think about it. There is nowhere in the world that says you're going to go through life and nobody's going to offend you. You don't have the right to feel that way. Nobody does. They be obvious about it. And now even RuPaul is saying, man, you better, get a helmet. But he's afraid that these young people are being raised to say, well, if I'm so uncomfortable, I just can't deal with it. And he's afraid of the future. RuPaul wonders whether physically transitioned. He's wondering whether physically transitioned transgender women should compete on his drag race of RuPaul's, his own drag race, and he says probably not. It takes on a whole different thing. It changes the whole concept of what we're doing. Using trannies for his own drag race, RuPaul. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, there we go. Oh, by the way, obviously the Democrats aren't giving up on the Supreme Court decision. Speaker Johnson says Democrats are losing it. Jamie, that scuzzbag, Jamie Raskin, that snotty little liar. He's one of the worst and just smarmy little, snotty little liars. He's like the kid in class who pulls a little girl's ponytail in third grade and then blames you for it.
We still have that audio from yesterday we can play as well.
There you go. You want to do it right here? We got time? It's a minute.
I am working with a number of my colleagues, including Debbie Wasserman-Schultz,
to get around the Supreme Court,
to revive legislation that we had to set up a process by which we could determine that someone who committed insurrection is disqualified by Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. And the House of Representatives already impeached Donald Trump for participating in insurrection by inciting it. So the House has already pronounced upon that. And
no, they'll do anything to show that they are not a democratic organization by eliminating one of two people running for the office. My God. It's coming up on 5 o'clock. Holy criminy. 106.3 with the Kimmer, Not Pete today, and Flounder. Look out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta, Extra 106.3.
President Biden says prices are still too high. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
That's why we're going to do everything we can to keep lowering costs for hard-working families.
During a meeting of his competition council announcing a new strike force to target unfair and illegal pricing, while also highlighting shrinkflation when companies charge the same price for a smaller amount. He says they're hoping you won't notice.
I tell you who did notice, the Cookie Monster. He pointed out his cookies are getting smaller.
The president, though, also still insisting his economic agenda is giving families breathing room 2 days before he'll make the case in his State of the Union address. The president's message remains a tough sell with some voters. Fox Business's Grady Trimble is in Ashburn, Virginia.
When we talk to voters here, especially Republicans, they're still not happy with the state of the economy under Biden.
Their handling of the economy has been catastrophic. So we had very low inflation before he came into power, and immediately inflation started to go up.
And former President Trump is hoping voters will keep drawing that contrast between how they felt financially under him and how they're feeling now.
The former president hoping to win enough Super Tuesday delegates to be close to clinching the Republican nomination. Nikki Haley's campaign says she's traveled more than 8,000 miles in the last 10 days or so.
Her campaign telling us to keep an eye on the states she visited in recent days. Texas, one of them. The state of Maine, another. We actually met a Maine primary voter out here in South Carolina on vacation. She's a registered independent who told us she already voted for Nikki Haley in the Maine primary.
Fox's Bill Malugin in Charleston. Republicans are voting in 15 states. In 7 of the states with Democratic primaries, uncommitted is an option, opening the door to more protest votes against President Biden's Mideast policies. America is listening to Fox News.
Federal authorities are spying on conservatives. They were just exposed for pressuring banks to look for transactions with keywords like MAGA, Trump, and Bible. This is not the America I know. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I am deeply concerned about the tyranny I see in Washington. And this is why I'm thankful for physical gold IRAs, because they offer tangible financial security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. To find out more, text the word PROTECT to 989898. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. This is your chance to secure your IRA or your 401k against the unpredictable nature of our economy. Text PROTECT to the number 989898 now to request your free info kit on gold IRAs. That's PROTECT to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply. Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flank. Ready on your dog. Target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. Don't be a little scared. Yeah, it's only the giver. With Pete Davis not today, a little technical difficulty going up there in the mountain of bacon, and Philander, the mechanical mangler at the controls. 5:04, let's call it, on 106.3. Happy Tuesday. I think the rain may have stopped. A little drizzly kind of stuff. Not quite sure. But whatever. It's freaking March. Came roaring in, so what do we expect? No big deal. Here's a phone number. We love phone calls. Pete's not here today. We had a thing going on up there of some sunspots or something. But here's our phone number if you'd like to join us. Again, if you'd like to audition for a temporary fill-in, one-day only sports commentator, call in at 513 and we'll give you a try.
Give you your shot.
Did we give have a winner in the tickets? Should we even give those away? I don't even remember.
Yes, we did. Today's winner was Joe Rivet of Powder Springs.
The Powder Spring Rivet. Well, I'll be damned.
Great people there.
Joe, congratulations. Probably the finest people in the Powder Springs area. Congratulations. Hope you have, in fact, when you go, it's March 15th, call us next week, or the week after, and tell us how you liked it, what you thought. Anyway, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And coming up later, I know you'll be excited to hear me give a synopsis of what happened last night on The Bachelor. Yes, it's coming up. But first, just reviewing, I freaked out this morning. All of a sudden, I couldn't run my Facebook. And, of course, I know nothing about technology. I'm not a modern app guy. I don't watch movies on my phone or on my wristwatch from Apple thing, whatever. So, and I don't like apps, and I don't like having to go paste, all the stuff. And so I figure, I screwed up. So I'm frantically texting Flounder Pete. What happened? I can't believe. Well, it turns out, do we even know what happened or why? And was it maybe a conspiracy by somebody?
No clarification's been provided, but I mean, there's a lot of speculation out there that Super Tuesday.
Well, there were conspiracies, and by the way, first of all, the funny part was that Elon Musk is gloating that the Facebook and Instagram outage happened, and so they had to go on X to tell people we're working on it or whatever, which is pretty funny. Musk said as a tweet from Meta. I guess it's Meta. I keep saying Meta. I'm using the Latin pronunciation. An E, long E is an A sound. The Meta Communications boss, Andy Stone, highlighting the outage as a photo of 3 penguins emblazoned on the Meta company logo, saluting a penguin emblazoned with an X logo. 200,000 Americans having it's got to be more than that. A down detector says 200,000 Americans were having problems with Facebook and 30,000 with Messenger. I'm one of only 200,000 in the country or the world that have problems with Facebook. I find that hard to believe. Why would they pick? Why me? I don't do anything on Facebook. I post horse videos, and that's it. It's not like I'm a big-time Charlie Facebook guy. Why would they include me with shutting down? Anyway, waves of internet humor, people making fun of them about their accounts, has no comment on the cause of the outage. I assume they're going to have to reveal it at some point. But folks are saying it's not coincidental and it's all planned. They've been experiencing a nationwide, worldwide outage. They keep warning about cyber attacks and possible EMP attacks. It's all part of the new world order. Users on X accused Meta's outage of trying to interfere with the presidential race. Facebook, Instagram go down on Super Tuesday. It's not even a conspiracy anymore. They just do it right in front of our faces. Well, and also the ongoing theory that Taylor Swift is pushing people to vote against Trump, exemplified after the outage, cementing people's original belief that she's trying to influence a presidential election. And Taylor says, I want to remind you guys to go vote the people you most represent you into power. She doesn't mention any names. I think she's probably smart trying to stay out of it, but whatever. Anyway, I guess it's all over. I don't know. It's been. I tried to log in again and even change my password and all that stuff, and it wouldn't let me do it. But I think we're all back to normal now, aren't we? As far as we know.
I believe mine's working again, so I'd check yours. But
mine was earlier, and so I think we're okay. But again, so what the hell? What would have caused that over, in the world? It was in China and Australia and all kinds of places. So what
Some
possible
kind of hack?
But again, for what reason? Just to have people not be able to use it? Now, I could see if all of a sudden you could never get back on again if they blocked you and you had to reset and all kinds of stuff. But it just meant you couldn't use it for a while, and then it came back just like normal. I didn't have to redo anything or reboot anything or put a password in or anything. It just came back. So what's the point of doing that? Just to make you miserable for a couple hours?
You'd have to ask Facebook.
I mean, if you're a hacker, I mean, would that be? I mean,
they may have been able to get some information while the system was down. Again, I have no idea.
Yeah, again, I don't know. This is so far out of my bailiwick. I don't even know what bailiwick means anymore, to be honest with you.
New word.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Let's see. Well, it's like the word beeswax, bailiwick. It's like the word beeswax. Beeswax was actually originally, I think I mentioned this before, might have been on the podcast. Beeswax originally, in 200 years ago, was used by women to cement over the crinkles and the pox marks in their faces, because complexions back a couple hundred years ago were not as good as they might be today because of, ecology things and weather and working outside, stuff like that. So they would use beeswax to smooth their faces to look better. And so women would say, if a woman was getting in someone else's, personal business, they'd say, well, mind your own beeswax, never mind looking at me, kind of deal. Well, then it turned into a word that meant something totally different. And then all of a sudden, it turned to mean the word business. Mind your own business. For beeswax. But that doesn't make any sense. When you go to fly into a foreign country, they don't say, well, welcome, sir, are you here on pleasure or beeswax? I don't think it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like bailiwick. Anyway, 510. A couple quick election things. Big Mike, Michelle Obama will not be running for president. As former First Lady Michelle Obama, according to the statement, says, expressed several times over the years, she will not be running for president. Mrs. Obama supports President Joe Crime Family and Vice President Carmela's side piece, easy and shiftless, lazy vice president, for the re-election. I added a couple of words in there. And they were talking about how the Obamas were enormously helpful in electing Biden in 2020. Nobody was helpful. He didn't need any help except from the press, the media, and the Department of Justice. And social media and at every website in the world by hiding in his basement. God, what a plan, and it worked brilliantly. And they're trying to pull it off again. 511 here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage says Biden's old. So forget. In fact, should we do a little Hillary thing here, Flounder? You want to? Let's play Hillary again. She was talking about just get over it and pretend it's not a big deal.
And, somebody the other day said to me, Zerlina, well, but, Joe Biden's old. I said, you know what? Joe Biden is old. Let's go ahead and accept the reality. Joe Biden is old. So we have a contest between one candidate who's old, but who's done an effective job,
Trump,
and doesn't threaten our democracy.
Trump.
And we have another candidate who is old, barely makes sense when he talks, is dangerous, and threatens our democracy. So really, pick between your two old ones and figure out how you're going to save our democracy. Because no matter where you stand on the political spectrum, you want to maintain freedom and the rule of law and protection
And what? Oh, let's play our friend Jake Tapper, who was talking with Nikki Haley last night. And he was talking about they were talking about the Supreme Court ruling in Colorado and so forth. And so Jake Tapper apparently is kind of fixated on a personal presidential unit.
Explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection. And I have to, an insurrection, and I have to say I got up at 5 this morning to do Casey Hunt's show and I'm exhausted. So,
yeah. Well, play that one more time, Flounder, just for the Jake Tapper sake here.
Explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection, and I have to, an insurrection, and I have to say I got up at 5 this morning to do Casey Hunt's show and I'm exhausted.
Well, at least he didn't pretend it never happened. I mean, he didn't make a big deal about it. I would have made a much bigger deal than that. But at least he referenced it, so you got to give him credit for that. And again, for the record, Nikki Haley says she's not going to make a third-party run. If she doesn't do it, as a GOP, she's not going to do it. She's a conservative Republican, have been all my life, unquote, and so she's not going to be doing that. So anyway, 5:13. Normally, Holy Crap at Sports coming up here. We'll figure out something else. So we got Flounder. We'll start with the Flounder's Funny as soon as we come back. 5:13 with the Kimmer Not Pete today and Flounder on 106.3 right here.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
This is just an easy 3-step process with the Democrat Party, okay? They need new voters. So admit these people, first step. Then legitimize these people, second step. Third step, change the laws on who can and cannot vote. Get these people registered to vote as soon as you can.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Seniors Helping Seniors.
Thanks, Tara. I'm Terry, owner of Seniors Helping Seniors. After losing my father, my husband and I wanted to take our experience and help others in the community. Our mission is to create meaningful connections while fulfilling the needs of our caregivers, clients, and their families. Seniors Helping Seniors helps less active seniors stay independent, allowing them to live the life the way they want to in the comfort of their own homes. We offer companionship and socialization, light housekeeping, meal preparation, transportation, doctor's appointments, dementia care, relief for the family caregiver, and more.
We hire active, mature adults who have a better understanding of the aging process. It's like getting a little help from a friend. Please check us out at shsnorthwestatlanta.com.
What a tremendous opportunity that fills a need so many of us can relate to. Friends, reach out. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Gwinnett Sheriff Kibo Taylor and Lieutenant Gennaro Hare. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
It's a funny little song. I just like the song when it was a big hit on the radio. Okay, now for you, baby. I'm going to be 500 miles. The Proclaimers. And I didn't know this either. It's two guys who are twins. Craig and Charlie Reed. Craig and Charlie Reed are both 62 today. The Proclaimers with I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles. Hopefully 10 seconds.
Walk 500 Miles. This was on the soundtrack to Benny and June, which was a Johnny Depp movie.
Oh, my God. Benny and June. Oh, my God. Wasn't that with the daughter of the famous Broadway star, Garland, Judy Garland's kid, Liza Minnelli?
I'm not sure.
I think
the girl in the movie was the same girl in Fried Green Tomatoes.
Okay, I may not
didn't see that one.
Yeah, I remember that was that comedian, the famous comedian girl who died not long ago, who started that because she smashed her car into the girls and teenage girls because she says I'm older and I got more insurance. She wrote the book. A very famous comedian girl. Anyway, Proclaimers 62 today. The two boys are the boys there. And let's see, I got something else in here I was going to mention. I forgot what it was. Sad news on this day, 1982. John Belushi was found dead in his room at the Chateau Marmont Hotel, the Marmont in Hollywood. He overdosed on a speedball, a lethal injection of cocaine and heroin. John Belushi was 33 when he died on this day in 1982. Now, I remember doing a story on him from his high school days. I went to his high school and talked to his coaches. That was outside of Chicago, and they said he was ferocious as a football player. He was kind of undisciplined, but he was a maniac as a tackler kind of guy. And they had some weird memories of John Belushi. And with the speedball. Hell, my daughter Jennifer used to be addicted to cocaine and heroin. And God bless her, she's a hero she's a role model for pulling through it. I don't know how they do it, but anyway. By 5:22, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, this popped up on my phone. Tell me about this, Flounder. Is this Pete's not here? We have a technical thing going on up there in the mountains of Macon, so he can't be with us today. Just popped up on my phone. It says, "Hi, Kim. Dynata, D-Y-N-A-T-A. I assume it's Dynata, is conducting a short survey on issues important to residents of Alpharetta. A few minutes of your time will make a difference. Should I open that thing, or is this always dangerous? Is this a trap? Is this something to get something, or is this like a legit thing about issues? And why would, because it's election season?
I mean, if you don't know the source of the link, I wouldn't open it.
Really? I've never heard of this Dynata, D-Y-N-A-T-A. I'm sort of curious to see what they want to know, but I don't want to open if it's going to be, I don't know anything about, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. I hate this. I'm not, I'm an educated man. I don't know what, what am I afraid to open my freaking phone?
Then open it.
All right, I will. Challenge me, mister. I'll take off my shirt again, pally boy. Oh, sorry. It says, in which state do you live in? Well, if they use two ins in the sentence, in which state do you live in? How about in which state do you live? Dick, I'm going to erase it. I'm going to reply stop, S-T, oops, I put a D. Hold on, I'll be right with you. S-T, capital, got to be capital, O, stop, and boom. So there you are. If you don't even know freaking grammar and you want to ask me a question, shame on you. Dear God. 523. Oh, just in, I wish they hadn't asked this question. I wish they hadn't asked it at the podium princess, Shirley Temple, Vagine, Tragine. She's black, she's gay, she's a girl, the triple check mark girl. Well, she's at the podium today, and someone asked whether President White Trash would be talking about Laken Riley's murder at his State of the Union address, which is Thursday. The White House today would not say whether President Crime Family would plan to talk about Laken Riley's murder, allegedly at the hands of an illegal, they call it immigrant, it's an invader alien, in the State of the Union, killed by the thing, the illegal, Let's see what it says here. Asked by Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy, I wish you hadn't said it, Peter, because now they're going to put it in there. Now they say, oh my God, now they're going to ask me, now we got to put it in there because they're going to know if they didn't. Asked whether they plan to address her death in the State of the Union, Press Secretary Shirley Temple said she had nothing to share about his speech related to the topic. It's such a tragic story, a little bit of rainbow face. Obviously, the situation is tragic, someone's life that was lost, so I do want to always acknowledge and extend our deepest condolences to her. Oh, that's freaking word salad again. She noted Biden recently traveled to Brownsville, Texas to visit the southern border. No, he didn't. He didn't go anywhere near anything what's going on the border. You freaking lying scuzzbag. I hate these people. Republicans oppose a measure that would have normalized high levels of immigration. Yeah, they want to allow 8,000 people a day to come into our country. Free and clear of what the hell. After Elon Musk just pointed out they allowed 320,000 on secret airplane flights into America and to go to different airports secretly without telling us anything. Anyway, 525 already with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Well, Pete's not here, but I do have a couple of sports things, just a couple of quick things here. For example, now if I could only find them. Here we go. On this day in 1999, Mike Tyson was sentenced to a year in jail and fined $3,000, I think that's $5,000. Tyson sentenced a year in jail in 99 and $5,000 fine for beating the crap out of two guys after a car wreck. Tyson also served 2 years probation, had to do community service for 200 hours. He did a show and tell on cannibalism and rape. I think it was pretty interesting for high school kids. 1972, Bob Douglas is the first black NBA player elected to the Hall of Fame. And a couple of sports birthdays. Again, Pete's technical difficulty up there in the mountains of Macon. Fred Williamson, the former football star and actor, is 86 today. And Michael Warren was on Hill Street Blues, and he was, I believe, a basketball player at UCLA. And a pretty good one. Michael Warren is 78. It's 526 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And again, they're going to meet today. Two protest groups are going to be clashing, we hope, peacefully. In a short while, probably, I assume they're out there right now, outside of the Athens County, Clark County Commission, meeting at 6 o'clock. It's now 5:27. And there are two groups. There's demonstrators planning to gather in front of the City Hall an hour ahead of the meeting, make it Athens safe again, holding a rally at the same time that the Athens anti-discrimination movement will hold a unity vigil. So we have the anti-discrimination movement. Those are the people who apparently say that we should allow anybody into our territory as long as they just feel like it. Otherwise, you're discriminating against little brown people. All right, let me ask you this. For all you college kids who are out there, all you wonderful little college kids out there right now, maybe going to this thing and this vigil and all this other stuff, would you be willing to sign a petition that says close the border? Have people come in and sign the book. A petition that says we believe in immigration. We believe that people who want to come here should be required to sign the book, that they want to be admitted when it's their turn, and then come back when it's their turn, and secondly, close the border. Will you sign that petition? Close the border and have people enter lawfully. Gee, there's a thought. How people enter lawfully. Would you sign that petition? No. So nothing's going to change. This is a crock. Oh, well, the safety. Oh, here we go. Let me get my froggy out here. Let's see. Mayor Kelly Gertz last week got creamed. They were calling him to quit because he's a liar about this inclusion crap. The safety measures include real-time crime center, improved camera technology in areas high in traffic and crime areas, and buying heavy-duty surveillance trailers and all-terrain vehicles. It'll cost $7.3 million for campus safety measures, heavy-duty surveillance trailers and all-terrain vehicles, and increased camera technology. Boy, that's really, wow, that's going to solve everything. How about closing a freaking border and saying, no, you're not welcome here? I mean, seriously. I don't know what it's going to take. I've never seen anything like it. Let's see. His brother. Oh, by the way, his brother apparently is also now in trouble and officially going to stand trial for it or face the charges. The brother of the man accused is Diego Ibarra, 28 years old, and he got caught with a bogus permanent resident card. He has not been charged anything to do with Lake and Riley's murder, but he went before a judge in U.S. District Court for Middle District of Georgia in Macon. He's facing a probable cause hearing and detention hearing Thursday, and prosecutors are expected to argue against releasing him while the green card case is pending. Gee, that'd be unusual. They release him every other time. They let him go when he got caught shoplifting. The two brothers got caught shoplifting in Athens. Guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing. And now they're debating whether to hold him, the other brother again, whether to hold him? How about how long to hold him and whether it should be underwater? God, you got to be freaking kidding me. These freaking liberals, keep voting for these people. Go ahead. I dare you. 5:30. Give her Pete and Flounder without Pete. All right, look out. There we go.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
By the way, coming up, I'm going to talk about watching another old episode of Columbo. And how, boy, have things changed. That's one more thing, sir. 531, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going without Pete today? Mountains are making a little technical difficulty thing there. Speaking of technical stuff, how about a safe where you get to turn the dials and everything? This is so cool. Atlanta Safe House. I love these guys. Jeff and Mark, again, this is a non-woke company. This is a company, if you've ever had a problem, in fact, with that Liberty Safe business, that lock issue they had where they gave it out, the master code, and gave it to people and stuff, Atlanta Safe House will never give out any master code of anything. And if you have a master code issue that happened before, they'll change it for you. Atlanta Safe House. These guys, Jeff and Mark, when they deliver a safe, they only use off-duty police and firefighters and military to give them a little second income to say thanks for what you do. And this is the non-woke company, and I bought 2 safes from Atlanta Safe House years ago, and I wish the heck I'd had one when I retired to Florida. And I couldn't find my medical records, and just yesterday, the VA once again said, well, you can't prove what you did with these doctors 21 years ago. So no benefits for the Kimber from the VA. Tough luck. Well, get a safe. It's my fault. I lost the stuff 21 years ago. I lost the stuff. But that's why you need a safe. And not only for medical records and business records and jewelry and cash or guns and all those other kind of stuff. Also for, things you want to protect and keep safe forever. Like your medical records and things that are precious to you. It's true. It's not that little plastic box at the store with a little teeny key either. That's not it. Gun safes and business safes, jewelry safes, high security. They can build you a vault door. Boy, talk about feeling like a banker spinning that wheel. Anyway, please tell them the Kimber sent you. Atlanta Safe House. They can even build you a family storm shelter. They're in Ackworth. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and they're on the web. Please mention the Kimber when you go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Hey, homeowners. Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on XTRA 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
This is unbelievable. I'll get to it in a second. 534. How's it doing? There we go. I'm feeling here with I forgot where you're going. Look, the guy had a voice. I mean, look. Frank Sinatra. Da-da, da-da. Frank Sinatra released his 10th studio album, Songs for Swingin' Lovers, on this day in 1956. The first album ever to top the British Albums Chart. Frank Sinatra aficionados rank it as the best album, and many music critics consider it one of the greatest albums of its era. It's 1956. The original cover had Sinatra facing away from the young couple. But in 1957, Capitol altered the cover with a new image of Sinatra facing the couple he was singing about. 1956. Pretty cool. Frank Sinatra. We got to get the thing over the thing there. And let's see, our birthday list. Oh, now I can't find what I was doing here. Well, I know. I do it. Oh, here we go. No, I did those earlier. Sorry. Yeah, I hate this. How about a little history list? Here we go. 1989, Kevin Kline married Phoebe Cates. She was something of a looker, too. Phoebe Cates then retired from acting to become a full-time mom with Kevin Kline, 1989. And on this day in, 1994, Byron de la Beckwith is convicted of assassinating civil rights leader Medgar Evers 31 years earlier. 1994, it was the longest murder case in American history. The movie Ghosts of Mississippi brought the crime to the screen. James Woods, Alec Baldwin, I recall. Anyway, 5:36 for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And I just, a couple things, now it's working again. My stupid iPad, sometimes I can scroll up and sometimes I can't. I was going to mention to you just a quick highlight of the last night's performance of The Bachelor. Just for the record, I hate these shows. It's cringeworthy, but at least he made the right decision. First of all, I thought it was kind of interesting. Flounder, you might get a kick out of this. There are 4 girls left, okay? And The Bachelor is really good-looking guys, nice guy. Seems like just a really terrific.
I've watched. Veronica likes to watch it, so I'm a little up to date.
Okay, well, last night he had 4 girls and he had to get rid of one of them. So last night, the first stop he did, and this was the episode where he goes to their homes, meets their families.
Yeah.
Now, so last night his first stop was New Orleans. It was so... Yes, and...
Some good memories.
They're showing the 2 lovebirds walking and strolling hand in hand on all the... they're going down... the trolley cars. The ding, ding. The lovers are... And they're walking... they're down there on the canals and through the one... there they are. And, there they are. City Park. The one of us... By the way, for the record, when I saw City Park, I said, I'm going to think of one happy thing. In City Park, many, many years ago, they have golf courses there. And in one of the golf courses, City Park, I shot from the tips and shot a 500 par 67.
Nice.
And lowest score I've ever shot in my entire life on a golf course many years ago. So that was my happy thought instead of watching the lovers going through City Park like I've never seen that before. and then the other thing I thought about was my daughter Sarah was born in New Orleans, and I was there as she was being delivered and came out screaming, unlike Jennifer, who came out and didn't make a peep. So anyway, those are my 2 happy thoughts about New Orleans while I'm watching this stuff. And then I said, well, I'm not watching the rest of them in New Orleans, and I'm voting against the girl Kelsey. I hope he doesn't pick her at the end just because it's in New Orleans. I didn't feel like looking at all that crap again. Rachel was is the black. I don't think really to call her black. She's non-white, but and I think she may be Hawaiian. And the reason I say that because she was, I must have missed, I've not watched every minute of this stupid series or anything. I just kind of tuned in. But she and her family say aloha. But here's the funny thing. She was telling him, she's a very attractive woman. She's definitely looks exotic. And I guess her parents her family's Hawaiian. She was telling Joey, what's his name? Joey. When you meet
Joey,
you like movies about gladiators. You ever seen a grown man? She was saying, Joey, when you meet my mother, our custom is to take her hand and touch it, bow down and touch the back of her hand to your forehead. Okay? Bow slightly and touch her hand to your forehead. It's a sign of respect for the women of the family. So we said, okay, fine. I'm thinking to myself, this isn't going to, this ought to be interesting. Anyway, so they show up in the thing, and sure enough, he touches the head, and she loves it. They're going, it's right. So they love him into the family and stuff. But the old man was looking daggers the whole time. He wanted no part of his beautiful brown daughter bringing in some blue-eyed white guy, from to be her husband. And he was saying, by the way, he was scowling. It was like dagger view the whole freaking time.
I mean, you're bringing camera crews and all this stuff, and
the whole
your daughter is part of a challenge, pretty much.
Yeah, and
a contest.
And he was saying, well, I just don't want her to get hurt. Because there's 4 girls you're talking about. I just don't want her to get hurt, I just don't want her to get hurt there. And so it was really brutal. And her name is Rachel. And so she's the one, I think, from Hawaii. And she finally said she's finally going to fall in love with him. And all the girls now are nervous. They're all saying, I wonder where I stand. And, he's with the other girls. And now it's crunch time because there's 4 of them. And he's got to get rid of one of them last night. Okay, now, my favorite is Daisy. She's from Minnesota. Her family owns a Christmas tree farm. And she's that pretty, goofy, sparkly, perky, happy blonde who stuck her feet in his lap the last time and said, I love foot massage. I hope you don't mind, and I like it hard. And I like them every day. Something like that. So, boom, pow. Well, it turns out she's deaf. She had some kind of disease, and I guess she's got had surgery of implanted things like cochlear implants or something. But she's basically deaf and has problems with vertigo. And it turned out also, I looked this up, the guy Joey apparently was, people were noticing on social media that he has yellow eyes.
I saw that. I saw that too. There was an article or something.
Yeah, he has a disease. He has some kind of disease, and I wrote it. I can't find what it is, but and he says he's fine. He's healthy and fine, but there's some lack of some nutrition or something, and he has to get the right amount of sleep or something. So he's got a little something going on. But anyway, Daisy, she's cool, and she again says she doesn't want to get hurt, and her family says that we don't want to get hurt. And
None of them want to get hurt.
Absolutely,
I mean, it's the
of course. Yeah,
Come on.
What else are you supposed to say? And then she also would say, she would told the camera, she says, I'm ready to say that I'm falling in love with him. They're all now making the decision. They're going to say they're falling in love with him. But here's and I'm going to talk quickly about Maria, and then I'm going to wrap up what I think is a bizarre situation for him. Maria is the cycle. I think she was a nutbag from the very beginning. She lives in Niagara Falls. Her family, she's again afraid to, being hurt and stuff like that. So she's been holding back, and she's never brought a guy home before to meet the family. And her father, oh my God, they bring him over to meet the father. Her father is sitting on the family couch with his shirt unbuttoned about 3 buttons, wearing a chain, like 1970s disco king. His hair is dyed black and long like some rock star, like Ozzy Osborne. I mean, it's just flaming, flyaway, black dyed hair. He's got a spray-on tan.
Flaming, flyaway, black hair?
I don't know what you call it. Flyaway, black, dyed, but it's dyed black. You can tell he painted it. Black hair, and a face job, a facelift of some kind, and a spray-on tan. And he was saying, I've got some quotes of him. He was saying, he says, nobody wants to get hurt, and we really care about our daughter here, and his 2 sons were kind of, we want to make sure he's doing the right thing. like they're standing on the corner of Brooklyn or something. Oh my God! I mean, he looked like a freaking gangster. He looked like a wop. I mean, if you saw Reeve, I was married to one, so, and they're all my friends. But I mean, he looked like a real Italian, whoa, hey, like he's on a freaking Sopranos or something, and such a fake. The hair, the face, the tan, the shirt unbuttoned with a chain. Oh my God. Anyway, the good news was he did not pick Maria. She was the one who was nothing but trouble. She was all the other girls. They all hated her. They're all shooting daggers at her when she tried to get him for a last-minute conversation before the rose ceremony. And finally, he did not pick her, which I think is wonderful news. I think that's probably the smartest thing he's ever done. But the thing I thought was funny about the whole event was from the girl from Hawaii whose mother he took the mother's hand and touched it to his head and bowed to her. She is going to determine everything you do with that girl for the rest of your life. If you had, I'd be very, if this was a whole cultural thing.
Be very careful, my friend.
And the daddy did not look kindly upon the whole deal. Anyway, now, the reason I'm bringing this whole silly thing about the dating stuff last night, there's an article, I'm looking at it right now. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell believe, at least Goldie Hawn says, that she and Kurt Russell probably would never still be together if they had gotten married. They celebrated 41 years this past Valentine's Day. And now Goldie Hawn is talking about their relationship. She said, people fuse. Fusion is very bad because once you start losing yourself, engaged in someone else's everything, become too dependent, then there's a loss of respect. There's expectation. Then a lot of people actually shift mentally when they feel tied up. I've always said I'm in a cage. I'm a bird. If you leave the door open, I'll probably never fly out. If you close the door to my cage, my feathers will be gone. I won't look like a bird anymore, and I wouldn't survive. Would you, they suggest, if you had one biological son together, why it might not be together if they got married? She said, probably not. When you look back on it, I've never asked that question of myself because what I like waking up in the morning, and I've said this many times, and actually making a choice to be with someone. She said, I picked him. I like that guy. We don't agree on certain things. He was tougher than me as a parent, but we have very, very strong family because of it. One of the things that gave me a thing to talk about was like that. Goldie Hawn is famous for allowing Kurt Russell to cheat on her. Years ago, I remember she saying, well, I know he needs other women. He's a man. And men, they once in a while, they just have to have another woman in their lives. And I understand it doesn't mean he doesn't love me. And he always comes back. I'm going, oh, my God. That's why they didn't get married. It wouldn't mean anything. God, I can't believe it. And now they're so happy together because, if he wants a little nookie on the side, well, what the hell? It's only a girl. Oh, my God. But they're happy. Okay, well, so they're happier than I am. Unbelievable. 546. Give her Pete, not Pete today, and Flounder. And I knew it. We got funnies. We got funnies next, I promise.
Atlanta radio legends collide on XTRA 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
Hey, it's front office Lowe's for Howard Brothers. Howard Brothers has everything for your yard. Lawnmowers, string trimmers, edgers, chainsaws, chippers, shredders, hedge trimmers, handheld and backpack blowers, reel mowers, rotary mowers, sprayers, pressure washers, compact tractors. The list goes on and on. And they sell the best premium brands that will last and not frustrate you when you're ready to use them. Now with 7 locations around town: Alpharetta, Athens, Dallas, Dorville, Duluth, Lula, and Oakwood. Why go anywhere else? Howard Brothers has everything for your yard.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
March is the month of marriage, and we're celebrating at Solomon Brothers Jewelers with our annual Marry Me March event. Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon from Solomon Brothers Jewelers, and we are here to help couples tie the knot this month with engagement rings and wedding bands at this year's best prices. All this month, we are offering savings of up to 60% off rings and wedding bands from our top designs like halos, the hidden halo, single shared prong, double shared prong, and every design you can imagine in our store. Choose from our selection of hundreds of beautiful rings in every budget or hand design the ring of their dreams. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice. So don't miss our Marry Me March event going on all this month and save up to 60% off engagement rings and wedding bands. Visit us today in any of our 3 showrooms on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and now in Peachtree City. Or shop online at SolomonBrothers.com or on Instagram at Solomon Brothers.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
My name is Jamie High, and I have worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years. Why do I work for Bruce? Because he truly cares. He cares about me, he cares about my family, and he cares about each and every one of his clients. Family is important to him, and he never makes me choose between my family and work. He values me as an employee, but also as a person. At our firm, we are all family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I am Jamie, and I've worked for Bruce Hagen for 14 years because he's the best. Hagen-law.com.
Here, Johnny. Johnny Cash. Dun 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 dun. Johnny Cash. In 1953, America learns of Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin's death when Air Force Staff Sergeant Johnny Cash intercepted a coded message from Russia. Now, wait a minute. I've never heard this story. Air Force Staff Sergeant Johnny Cash intercepted a coded message from Russia in 1953 on this day. Johnny Cash enlisted in 1950 when he turned 18, was assigned to the 12th Radio Squadron Mobile of the U.S. Air Force Security Service at Landesberg, West Germany. He proved his skill as a Morse code operator. I'll be damned. Johnny Cash told us of Joseph Stalin dying. What a weird juxtaposition of things. Isn't that funny? I'll be darned. Eddie Grant, birthday list, Electric Avenue guy. I don't know who he is. 76. Murray Head was one night in Bangkok, 78 years old. A couple of quick history things. On this day, 1861, Pee Wee Herman must have saluted this guy's memory on his birthday. Samuel Goodale, on this day in 1861, patented the moving picture peep show machine. In 1861, holy cow. I didn't know they could make, wow. Oh, my God. In 1937, the Dems' folly. President FDR tried to expand the Supreme Court to include lots more liberals, no dice. And if the Dems gain control again after this election, they'll do it again for sure. Nothing will be the same. And one more thing, 1952, in New York City, 4 signs were installed at 44th and Broadway in Times Square telling pedestrians don't walk. The first don't walk signs in America. 552. God, just a quick comedy bit. Here we go. Little Founders Funny. It's right here. And another one coming.
Speaking of travel, people think I talked about comedy. Most people think that the hardest thing about being a comedian is getting up on stage in front of an audience. And that might be the case for some folks, but, not me. I've always loved being the center of attention. No matter where I go. That's why funerals have always been a little harder for me. I'm very desperate for attention, so I don't want to hear about somebody else for an hour. Bill didn't take off work today. My 8-year-old daughter Skylar is just like me, and that's why I don't like her, to be honest. But she is like me. She loves being the center of attention. In fact, she was actually upset when we told her she was going to have a little sister a couple years ago. 4 years old, she was depressed. I said, well, honey, now you know how I felt when you got here. Our plan, my wife and I, our plan was to have one child if we were lucky enough to have one. But then after we had one, we both decided that we both want to have a favorite.
And who was that? It was kind of the bit like Louis C.K. used to make fun of his daughter all the time.
Who was that? Eric Linden.
Eric Linden. Anyway,
I'm sorry, Eric Linden.
Linden. There you go. 5:55. Oh, by the way, the other night on TV, I get a kick out of watching these old episodes of Columbo from like 1972, 73. And the other day, they had Valerie Harper was a guest star. She was Rhoda on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Valerie Harper, and she played a hooker. She played a call girl, come to your room and do various things for you. And Columbo was investigating a murder, and she was one of the, she didn't have anything to do with it, but she was involved in it as an alibi or something. So Columbo says to her, she was upset about being part of the thing, and she pretended to be a secretary. She pretended to be a secretary and a phone operator and stuff like that at an office to prove somebody's alibi. So Columbo says to her, "Oh, you'd be an ornament in any office." And she says, "Well, thank you." You'd be an ornament in any office. I mean, holy cow, 1973, this was the beginning of the whole, women's movement and burning bras and all that other stuff. And Columbus saying, well, you'd be an ornament in any office. And she thanks him for it. And by the way, if you haven't ever seen a 1972 Lincoln Town Car, holy crap, you couldn't drive one of those things today in America. I'll guarantee you there's not a parking garage that's been built in the last 15 or 20 years that could handle a full-size old-fashioned car from the 60s, 70s. These things were enormous. I'd love to see a modern-day teenager take a driving lesson on a 1972 Lincoln Town Car with, no power steering, no power brakes.
I did mine with my 78 Cutlass Supreme, which was my grandma's car, which was my first car. I did my and having to do, luckily, the parallel park situation was pretty lenient for me, but still. And those weren't the biggest cars, but those were still full-size cars. Big cars, yeah.
They were, but anyway.
Lincoln Town Car, those things are huge.
Absolutely. 5:56 for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We're going to do another comedy bit again here. A new study came out and told people, families, that you shouldn't be telling your little girls that they're sweet and cute and beautiful all the time. You should be saying things more like they're cool and brave and stuff like that, so they don't get a thing. And earlier today, I had a really fun talk with my little granddaughter Molly about this very thing, and I made the point to her that she is beautiful. Have you ever seen my pictures of her and videos and stuff? She has the Peterson blue eyes, and she's just a stunning little girl, and she's smart as a whip, and she's just gorgeous. And I had a talk with her Christmas, said, you didn't do anything for this beauty. You didn't deserve it. It was given to you. What you did deserve is all the things that make you so wonderful. You're sweet and happy and smart and creative and curious and nurturing and happy, and you do great things. You're unselfish with all your friends. All those things will make sure you always have friends in your life, but don't think it's your beauty. That's got nothing to do with you. It was a gift, and you didn't deserve it. You didn't earn it. It just came to you by luck of genetics. But all the things that make you who you are, make you special, are all real. And those things are important. And those things, if you count of those things in your life, you'll always have friends, and people will always like and respect you if it's got nothing to do with your beauty. Anyway, a little Molly. God love that little girl. 5:58. Flounder, one more funny. What do you think?
That really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but
Norm Macdonald.
In the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. It had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close.
It's actually close.
Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world. And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, Crankly, that guy. I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking. But you'd think at that point the world will go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the
world. By the way, I saw Chris Hansen on TV being interviewed the other night. Used to do the NBC guy, the perverts in the kitchen.
That's a predator.
He's totally white-haired now. I almost didn't recognize him. Anyway, God bless America. So to the Kimmer, gotta go. You're killing me. Flounder and Pete tomorrow. Look out. Here we go. Stand by.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.
almost 2 decades ago when John Linder introduced the fair tax into Congress, and then John